Mr. West.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to AC Shakira for gifting that membership. We here, y'all.
Only answer my question, sir. No,
I'm asking.
Get them likes up.
Can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
No, you can
don't know who you talking
to.
Salute
everybody in the building, man. Kanye acting up.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? That's the dumbest. Are you crazy? You just told me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Mr. West.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. What's up, y'all? Shout out to everybody here. Double tap that screen, get the likes up.
Only answer
we got Kanye acting up.
I'm asking. Equine, can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
No, you can
get them likes up.
I'm not.
What's up, K-Cell? What's up, I am the one. You know what I'm saying? Make sure if you got a membership from AC, thank you. We here, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. What's up? I know y'all see me. What's up?
What's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna go to jail?
We got Kanye here acting up.
Question, sir. No,
I'm asking. Equine, can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
Get the likes up. We in the building.
You crazy?
No, you can
don't know who you talking to. I'm not some slave of yours, boy.
You
what you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? That's the dumbest. Are you crazy? You just told me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Mr. West.
What's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna go to jail?
Only answer my question, sir. No,
I'm asking. Equine, can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
No, you can
don't know who you talking to. I'm not some slave of yours, boy. What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? That's the dumbest. Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Are you crazy?
Mr. West.
Talking about Kanye can't ask his lawyer a question. Are y'all crazy?
What's gonna happen to me?
What's gonna happen, man? Get them likes up.
Only answer my question, sir. No,
I'm asking. Equine, can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
Joe Black, what's up, my guy? We here.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
You crazy?
I'm not some slave of yours, boy.
Boy,
what you mean I can't ask
tell him, Kanye.
That's the dumbest. Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
Me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Mr. West.
Shout out to the squad. What's up, y'all? Yeah, we here for another one, man. Shout out to y'all. They say ye crazy, man. Ye be going off.
Equine, can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions.
This him acting up in his deposition where he put that mask on.
You don't know who you talking to. I'm not some slave of yours.
I'm not some slave of yours, boy.
Ask my lawyer a question. That's the dumbest. Are you crazy? You just told me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Mr. West.
Let's go, Kanye. Man, this is the pregame. We in here. We 3 minutes in. Make sure you double tapping that screen. Get the likes up.
Only answer my question, sir. No,
I'm asking. Equine, can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
No, you can
don't know who you talking to. I'm not some slave of yours, boy.
Yeah, I already know.
Ask my lawyer a question. That's the dumbest. Are you crazy? You just told me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Shout out to y'all, man. What's up? Shout out to the squad, man. We in here. What's up? Make sure y'all double tapping that screen.
Only answer my question, sir. No,
I'm asking. Equine, can I go to jail?
Can he go to jail
to this lawsuit?
Of anything related to this?
Sir, you're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
Hold up.
You don't know who you talking to. I'm not some slave of yours, boy. What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? That's the
dumbest. See what we looking like over here.
You just told me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Mr. West.
What's going to happen to me? I'm going to go to jail.
Yeah, we might be all right, man.
Only answer my question, sir.
Shout out to everybody in the building.
Can I go to jail off of anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
No, you can
don't know who you talking to. I'm not
that boy Kanye off the chain. Hold up.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? That's the dumbest. Are you crazy? You just told me I can't ask my lawyer a question.
Mr.
You just told him he can't ask his lawyer a question. Shout out. I like Kanye. He's funny. What's up, Daquan?
Only answer my question, sir.
No, I'm asking, Equan, can I go to jail for anything related to this lawsuit?
You're not here to ask questions, sir. You're here to answer.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? You crazy?
No, you can
You don't know who you talking to.
He was putting on. He knew he couldn't get in trouble.
What you mean I can't ask my lawyer a question? That's the dumbest.
He knew he couldn't get in trouble. That's why he handling them people like that. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We got 26 people in here. We need 26 likes. Click those 3 dots. Hit that subscribe button, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. We up in here, man. They don't release more on these 2 attacks. The ones that took place, the one that took place in New Orleans, as well as the one that took place in Las Vegas, y'all. Some of they findings might shock y'all, man. It turned out that both of the people that was involved, y'all, both did time at the same army facility, man. You know what I'm saying? Different times, but the same spot. You know what I'm saying? Both were active military people in the Afghanistan war. You know what I'm saying? Damn, Vegas too. Yes. Shout out to AC Secure for being a member for the last 3 months. She say salute CEO Maher Din, liked and shared. Shout out to you, AC. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? We in the building. Chiva, what's up? What's up, Skin? You know what I'm saying? Daquan, Lanice, K-Sale, Joe Black, my girl Dark Chocolate in the building. What's up? IGT up in here. What's up? Who else we got up in here? I Am The One was gifted a membership. All right, man. You know what I'm saying? We in the building, man. We in the building. We got a lot to go today, man. As y'all can see by all these trillions of tabs I got open, man. But yeah, man, there's a lot going on. We 7 minutes in, man. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen, getting them likes up. We most definitely in the building, man, with everything news. I hope everybody been having a great day. I hope you had an even better night. You know what I'm saying? Cause we most definitely up here, man. Sidewalk Gang is in the building, man. What's up, y'all? Yeah. Have y'all been following what's been going on with these, or y'all been just waiting on me to come supply what you need? You know what I'm talking about? What's up, Miss Spoober? I'm in the building. Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Here already, Daquan. Happy New Year to yours too. You and yours as well. Happy New Year to y'all, man. We in the building. 2025, man. We did 100K. You know what I'm saying? We did 100K on New Year's. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Yeah, it's crazy out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I also got more news on that situation that happened in New York, man. They had a mass situation over there as well. We most definitely got some of that. I didn't get it all. It turns out that after we got off last night, some American stations most definitely reported on what happened in New York, man. They was at a nightclub, over 90 people in the building, man. I think like 10 was injured or unalive, something like that, man. It's getting spooky out here, man. You can't go to the grocery store no more. You know what I'm saying? It's so much going on, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. What's up, y'all? Yeah, but most of my day, you know what I'm saying, has been consumed with finding out, you know, more about the Las Vegas attacker as well as the New Orleans attacker, man. What's up, Just Ice? If you didn't know, they opened back up Bourbon Street today. You know what I'm saying? They most definitely had that football game that had got delayed yesterday. Man, listen, they got all kind of footage of this dude before that, you know, carrying around bombs in a cooler, man, and putting them on the corners. You know what I'm saying? Buildings falling down as the Tesla truck slide through. I'm just saying, man, I mean, as the F-150 slide through, I'm just saying, it's crazy. Lalizi, what's up, Lalizi, baby? Happy New Year to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Happy New Year to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I kicked off my new year feeling good. Yeah, man, we in here. Just Ice in the building. Yeah, still gotta shine. Still out here getting it, man. Still on my grind. Money on my mind. I ain't wasting time. If it's $1 million, then I might sign the line. Talking about the dotted, haters being spotted. Yeah, I'm coming through, feeling like Gotti. Yeah, in a Maserati, big body. Yeah, I put holes in your body if you test me. Yeah, man, please don't stress me. Yellow bone chick, yeah, she tried to. Y'all know what the rest be. I got the recipe. Yeah, man, we up in here kicking like Jet Li or Jackie Chan. You don't understand. Got no wife, but my hair be the man. Yeah, still running, still gunning. I do this stuff for fun, man. Yeah, what's up with it, ballin'? We in the mix. Trying to turn $1 into 15 cents. Yeah, still gotta pay the rent. Yeah, I'm like, that's enough money spent. These haters got me bent. Yeah, I ain't falling off. Yeah, we keep it, I don't know, I fell off. Ah! I said I wasn't falling off, fell right off, man. What's up, y'all? Yeah, still on the mic, still get it hype. I ain't got to write, rhymes I recite, straight up off the head, still going fed. I ain't never been scared. 1200 hood, yeah, we keep it good. Yeah, I'm still rolling around gripping wood. Yeah, in the car, still sipping bar. I'm feeling like H-Town, got the drink in the jar. Cuban, that's the gar. Still smoking Doja. Ain't from New Orleans, a Master P, but I'm a soldier. Eyes on the roller, wood grain controller. Yeah, you know what it is. I put D's on the stroller for the baby. Yeah. Was in the Navy. Yeah, I'm feeling like BG, everything gravy. You gonna have to pay me for a feature or, I don't know. We in here though. Yeah, get it, King. What's up, Jocelyn? You know what I'm saying? Jocelyn's Galaxy in the building. What's up? Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you new, man. We about 12 minutes in. Yeah, we gonna get it anyway. Still gotta win. La Leezy. Freestyle tip. I'm on my freestyle drill. I'm feeling like Beyonce. Can you pay my bills? Yeah, work my wood wheel. I'm from the land of the trill. People where I'm from, we rolling apple over seal. Yeah, in the car. Yeah, like a racer. Yeah, they try to find my information on Pacer. Yeah, cause I'm a real stack chaser. Yeah, mess with me. Yeah, I'm just saying, man, I might make you. Oh, man. Yeah, man, we in here, man. You know what I'm saying? We 12 minutes in, 31 likes deep, 33 people in the building, man. We just doing our thing. Y'all know what it is, man. I ain't being serious right now, so don't take me serious. I'm just on the freestyle drill in the beginning of the show. Kiwi. Kiwi. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Kiwi? Shout out to you. I see you in the building. What's up? Make sure y'all double tapping that screen, get them likes all the way up, man. We 30 people, these 32 likes on that like button. Clicking the view. Yeah, they gonna give me a click in the view. Boy, I thought you knew. Yeah, wearing red, or I might sport the blue. I ain't no banger, but my trunk banging. Yeah, my tweet is high. I swear to God, they singing. Hear every word. Still rep the third. Valet the swanger, park the car on the curb. Went into the club, feeling like a thug. Yeah, I was riding 20s before boys called them dubs. Yeah, I'm on them swangers, yeah, they poking. No joking, no writing. I'm in the booth, still smoking. Yeah, I'm toking. Nothing but the good green. You know me, when I pull up on the scene. Looking clean, looking mean, got my mug on. In the streets with the strap, getting my thug on. Yeah, I just did. Yeah, you mess with me, I just might split your wig. Yeah. But hey, man, we still in here, man. We ain't even hit the 15-minute mark yet, man. Make sure y'all getting them likes up, though. What's up, King Line? You know what I'm saying? John K. I ain't talked to you since last year. Yeah, man, that wasn't that long ago. That was a couple days ago, you know what I'm saying? But it's a new year, 2025. Yeah, man, we in here. It's a struggle to stay alive these days. Yeah, people blowing up cars. People might just want to take a trip to Mars. Talking Elon Musk. In God we trust. In my Glock I bust. You don't want none of us. Real to the field. I'm the real deal. Yeah, McCoy. Yeah, I'm riding through car looking like Armored Joy. That's the candy. You don't understand me. Yeah, I'm in the game. Gotta keep that 9 handy. Yeah, so I'm clutching. Might start busting. Yeah, I'm feeling angry. Call me a mad Russian. Yeah, you mess with me, then the blood might get the gushing. Yeah, and you gonna leave with more than a slight concussion. Yeah, yeah, you might leave it on a stretcher. Yeah, you know me, man. Yeah. Oh, I ran out. I fell out again. I fell off again. You know what I'm saying? I fell off again. Yeah, man, we in here though, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We about to get to this news you can use, man. We 15 minutes deep. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let's get to where we going. Yeah, this drink, I'm still steady pouring. Yeah, you already knowing. Yeah, we don't play around. Mess with me, boy, my chopper gonna lay you down. We don't play around with no haters. Yeah, I-10, 45, I'm a skater. Yeah, the interstate. What's up, Libra, baby? I see you down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, if you're new over here, subscribe to the channel, man. We most definitely getting it in. All right, let me see some y'all might not have seen. Check this out. Let's go here. My guy talking about what happened
in New Orleans, y'all. Check this out. So while everyone was sleeping, we had buildings collapsing in New Orleans, y'all. Look at this. What is going on over here, y'all? Look at this.
See, I ain't even heard nothing about that one right there.
Dude had to run a red light to say.
Dude said, you know what I'm saying, before all of that took place with the Tesla, dude, it was already explosions and buildings falling. You know what I'm saying? Lord, have mercy, Jesus, help him. Hold up.
Let's go. Life. But what is going on, y'all? That's not the only thing that happened. Apparently, there was a truck that ran into a couple of crowds and unalived 10 people, and over 30 people are injured right now, y'all. This all took place last night.
About 3 or 4 hours ago, there was reportedly this vehicle, what has been described as a truck of some kind,
talking about
that plowed through a crowd of people in New Orleans, in the French Quarter District. As you were mentioning, this is a big area where there are bars, there are nightclubs, there are people milling about. This was New Year's Eve, or on the back end of New Year's Eve.
So I was also doing a little bit more research, and it turns out this is the 4th or 5th building that has collapsed this year in New Orleans, y'all. Did you know about this?
What is going on?
Okay, so New Orleans, yesterday we had yet another building collapse. I think that makes it maybe 4 or 5 this year. The one on Aretha Casa Haley during the summer. And then I want to say a few weeks ago we had
all the buildings
collapse downtown in the Central Business District. And then Cafe du Monde in the French Quarter, their roof partially collapsed also a few weeks ago. And yesterday on Magazine Street, this happened.
Wow, I had no idea all of this was happening, y'all. Did you guys know? I feel like a lot of information is being held from us. There's a lot of videos that should go viral that aren't going viral, and the people are not getting notified. But
that's
this
crazy.
Is very, very interesting. What is going on in New Orleans, y'all? Please let me know down in the comments below. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shit. Peace out. Yo, what's going on?
Hey, that's dope, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Them buildings falling down. You know what I'm saying? They said like 4 or 5 of them fell down in New Orleans already, and ain't nobody even talking about it. You know, let alone then all of a sudden turn around and have a dude in the F-150 go drive through the crowd, man. They got a lot of footage of that guy, too, who was driving in that crowd, man, for real. All right, so last night y'all was telling me, y'all was like, hell, man, you need to go check on the situation going on in New York at that nightclub where the people got unalived. And we went and looked, and all we could find was like foreign countries reporting on American news before the American stations picked it up. Well, this morning, American stations was talking about what happened in New York. Check this out.
Police are still searching for multiple males.
Hold up. It says at least 10 people injured in a banging outside of an event space in Queens, New York. Authorities searching for 4 male suspects. So they ain't got all 4 of the males, man. You know what I'm saying? But they most definitely made light of what they did, man, and said that, man, it sound like a war zone. You know, of these people busting these automatic weapons. Check it out.
Suspects
What's
at
up,
this hour
Danielle?
who were wanted and accused of shooting into a crowd of about 15 people who were standing outside an event space located just down this block in Jamaica, Queens. Police say it all
This is a New
unfolded
York
just after
situation.
11:15 p.m. on New Year's Day outside the Amazura Concert Hall on 144th Place. There were so many victims, the street was crowded with ambulances waiting to rush them all to the hospital. According to police are still searching for 90 people were inside and an upstairs private event space. The venue was at capacity and a line of about 15 people were waiting outside. Police say that's when 4 men walking down 91st Avenue approached the crowd and fired about 30 rounds. They then ran towards 143rd Place where they got into a light-colored sedan with out-of-state plates.
Officers responding to the multiple 911 calls found a total of 10 victims. 6 females, 4 males, which were taken to area hospitals. All of the victims are expected to recover with non-life-threatening injuries.
90 people were inside and
all right, so John says that the cops in New York think it's gang related, nothing to do with those other situations. But man, oh man, ain't it ironic, you know, that on the same day, later on that night, we have a situation like this that occurs in New York, man. Most definitely crazy, y'all. Here go another one. You know what I'm saying?
There was a mass shooting at a Queens venue has sent 10 teenagers to the hospital. It happened late last night while a private event was taking place at the Amazura Concert Hall in Jamaica.
And Alan Devlin is live outside Jamaica Hospital with what we know so far about those who were injured in the shooting. Alan?
Yeah, Mary, Doug, good morning to both of you. We now know that about 6 of the 10 victims who were shot here at that concert hall were all taken to this hospital here right behind me, the Jamaica Hospital Trauma Center, where thankfully they and the other 4 are expected to survive. We're just about a quarter of a mile away from that concert hall where this shooting took place. We're slowly learning more about the victims here. The NYPD says in total at least 6 females and 4 males ages 16 to 19 were all shot in this incident. The 6 here at the Jamaica Hospital, 3 males, 3 females with injuries.
Shout out to my girl Sharika. Welcome back to the sidewalk. You know what it is. Shout out to you for grabbing that membership. Right now, we taking a look at what happened last night in Queens, New York, man, where 10 people were hurt. What's up, Angie? Where 10 people was hurt, you know, and yeah, they said it was gang related, not an act of terror like those other ones was. They saying it was gang related. Y'all asked me to go check it out. I went and checked it out. This is what I found.
Ranging from gunshot wound to the leg, foot, arm,
Angie Vlogs in the building. What's up, Angie?
The other 4, 3 females and 1 male, taken to other area hospitals, including Long Island Jewish Medical Center, the New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, and the Long Island Cohen Hospital. NYPD also says they are actively canvassing local medical centers for unaccounted for gunshot victims in relation to this incident, signaling the tally could increase in the coming hours. And again, thankfully, all of these victims are stable. They are all expected to survive their injuries. CBS News New York will continue to look into more details regarding all of those that were shot in this incident.
Spitfire, the one in New York, has not been classified as an act of terror. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not classified as that. They saying that this one was gang related, not an act of terror. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the situation that went on in New York, man. Now, when it comes to these situations going on in Las Vegas and New Orleans, they most definitely calling those a situation of terror. You know what I'm saying? Or an act of terror. I ain't gonna say the rest of the word, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Put ism at the end of it, and then you got it, you know. But they are calling them an act of terror, y'all. And not only that, they have figured out who both of the drivers were. And they trying to find out the link in between both to see if they can connect them. You know, but most reports are saying that the dude in New Orleans acted alone, you know, and are not just completely able to tie them together, but they are saying that the similarities are there and that these guys served at one point at the same military base because they are both veterans. We got 80 people in the building. Double tap that screen, y'all. Get the likes up. Click those 3 dots. Hit that thumbs up, man. I told y'all about Trader Truth. I think I told y'all about him a couple of days ago. Y'all know the well-known rapper Trader Truth from Texas, H-Town to be exact. His daughter was missing, y'all. His daughter was missing. Breaking news, we got an update, y'all. They found her. She is now back with him, and he couldn't be happier, y'all. It says Trader Truth reunites with his missing daughter at the Mexican border, y'all. She was on her way to Mexico or in Mexico and was returned. It said child was reported missing after being dropped off for a 2-day vacation with her mother in August. From August to now, y'all, you know what I'm saying? They just now found her. She's safe and sound. She's been reunited with her father, who basically had custody. The mother took off with her, but finally, after going to the news and reporting it to the police, he has been reunited with his daughter. Angie says, I'm not going. There's a connection to all of this madness. We gonna get there, Angie. Let me know how you feeling. But right now, we checking out Trader Truth. Y'all get the likes up, man. He got his daughter back. You know what I'm saying? What a great start to his new year. And I hope you had a great start to yours. Yeah, I don't know what beat this is. Beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
We got 10 seconds.
You ain't missing nothing, G. We just now started. Trader Truth reunited with his daughter, man.
Oh, man.
He got her back, Lanice. Bittersweet moment for Trader Truth, man. I'm happy for him. Breaking news, he got his baby back.
You're welcome.
Who was she with the whole time? She was with her mom. He knew she was with the mom, but the thing was, she was going on a 2-day vacation with the mom. But the mom wound up taking her and running off. And they found her, or found her either in Mexico or getting ready to go to Mexico, because she was reunited with Trey at the Mexico border, y'all. So the mother was trying to leave the state with the little girl. The mother didn't have sole custody. Trey had custody of the baby. He released her to her mother's care for 2 days, and the mother tried to take off with her.
That's what you get.
Well, not tried. Actually took off with her.
Is that what that is? Let me get the gun for you, Corey. Let me get the gun for you.
Great thing for them, man. I'm glad he was able to get his baby back. They'll go to baby mother as well as the little girl. You know, they put out missing posters trying to find out where she was at, and they found her, y'all. So you got to be happy about that. You know, in all this darkness we see every day, it's always good to get a ray of sunshine. Y'all get them likes up, man. We need 46 more people to hit that like button. Yeah, awesome sauce, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the next ones ain't all that happy, man. You know what I'm saying? This acts of terror, you know, all kind of stuff going on. Okay, all right, so, oh yeah, remember we watched over here the dude that was on that plane that crashed in Pakistan, and he was recording the whole time, you know, as the plane was going down. He was being real calm, cool, collective, and I was telling y'all, I was like, man, I don't know if I could be that calm, you know, if I'm on a plane that's finna crash, you know what I'm saying? But hell, you see they wilding in New York City. I most definitely showed that a while ago, EJ, before you got here. We covered that. 10 people injured, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's they want everybody, it's looking like everybody gonna be all right in this situation. But I told y'all about the dude that was on the plane that was recording as his plane was going down in Pakistan, right? And I said, man, I wonder if he made it out, you know, because he was praying, he was all calm and stuff. I was like, man, I wonder if he made it. Guess what, y'all? He made it to 2025. He did not perish, y'all. The guy made it. It says a Muslim man survives a plane crash that killed half of the passengers on the plane. Before the crash, he was calmly calling on God before of what he thought was his going be his last word. That's how they wrote it. I didn't write it. I'm just saying. But he made it, y'all. You know, he was a little scarred up, you know, but if you see him right there, y'all, he made it. See, God is good, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always good for some rays of sunshine in this darkness. Y'all remember him? He made it out alive, guys. He made it. Little banged up, a little bruised, but he made it. Y'all remember him now? Now, he doing this, what y'all see on the other side is his plane is going down. Jocelyn, I'm just saying, it's always good to have some good news. He made it out alive, guys. He prayed. He wound up surviving, man. I guess that's why he was so calm. The good Lord was telling him he was going to be all right. He was most definitely all right. All right, so into some more of the news of tonight, man. When it comes to the Tesla dude in Las Vegas, when it comes to Jabbar, I think the dude named in Las Vegas was Matthew. And when it comes to Jabbar, that's the one that was in New Orleans. His family came and spoke out. You know, Angie says, to God be the glory. Let's go, man. Gotta always put Jesus first, man. But the dude name is Matthew. You know what I'm saying? And here he go right here. This the hold on, my bad. This the guy from this the guy that's responsible for what happened in Las Vegas. Where your picture at, boy? You know what I'm saying? This is he right here. He is also a veteran, just like the other dude. And him and the other dude, Jabbar, they spent time at the same military facility. Both of them fought in the Afghanistan war. You know what I'm saying? Both of them was having financial trouble. But they're trying to link them together, and right now they just can't do it. Even though they rented the trucks from the same company, they still can't say that they did this as an act together. You know what I'm saying? Or it was planned out that way. But it is very peculiar that their minds would click to just do the same thing at the same time. You know, it's crazy. He looked like he owed somebody money. Man, he looked like he is crazy. Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion suspect took himself out just before the explosion outside the hotel. So we find out that he took himself out while he was still in the truck. He just went ahead and unalived himself. Oh, man, I smell MK Ultra, military activated. All right. He looks like he guilty. Well, the world will never know, man. They had trouble identifying this guy as well. I'm really getting ahead of myself. I'm giving y'all too much. I'm finna show y'all here in a second. You know what I'm saying? We finna see it live and living color. Check this one out. Check this one out.
Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado. I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What we do know about that is it's a very large military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years at Fort Bragg. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan.
They both served in Afghanistan.
We don't have any evidence that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else.
Are they connected? Do you think they connected? Maybe I should do a poll.
Of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles. Our subject is 37-year-old. As far as his military background, it's been confirmed by DOD that he was indeed in the United States Army. He was also a Green Beret operations sergeant.
Green Beret.
Time at Fort Carson, Colorado, and in Germany. He was on approved leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th Special Forces Group. He was also previously in the National Guard and the Army Reserve. As far as his military background,
that's a picture close up, you know what I'm saying, of him, you know. It's crazy out here, y'all. But that's the guy right there, man. That's crazy. Oh, man, one person unalive after Tesla, so we already know that.
Meanwhile, authorities in Las Vegas are on alert tonight after a possible terrorist attack at the Trump Las Vegas hotel. According to police, a Tesla Cybertruck exploded in the valet at the entrance to that tower earlier today. This video shows the smoke from that incident. Officials say the driver is dead and the only casualty. Several bystanders had minor injuries. Investigators don't know what caused that blast and are trying to determine if it...
Sexy Black says, that's scary. I have and continue to visit Colorado Springs 3 times a year. Well, you be careful out there, Sexy Black. You know what I'm saying? What's up, DSD? For shout out to you. Y'all get them likes up. We need 100 on the board, man. We need 35 more people to click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up. Hey, man, and don't forget, we need at least 3 gifts tonight. You know what I'm saying? We need at least 3 gifts. I don't care if they cost a quarter. You know what I'm saying? But we need 3 of them before we up out of here, man. I'm just saying.
This was something wrong with the car or something external caused it. An investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, authorities in Las Vegas are on alert tonight after a possible...
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Mayhill. I'm the sheriff.
You know what? We ain't gonna waste all day with that. We ain't gonna, that was just because I got everything. Shout out to Here For It. Appreciate you, Here For It. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. All right, here go another one.
Shamshadeen
you know what I'm saying?
Jabbar,
Oh my
the
God.
terrorist responsible for
This
the
the
Bourbon
one in
Street
New Orleans.
massacre, had planned to slaughter his own family. Today, the FBI revealed new information about Jabbar and 5 chilling videos he posted online as he drove from Houston here to New Orleans on New Year's Eve to carry out the massacre, turning down this corner on Bourbon Street and plowing into partygoers.
Jabbar explains he originally planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned the news headlines would not focus on the, quote, war between the believers and the disbelievers.
Crazy, y'all.
Additionally, he stated he had joined ISIS before this summer.
Court papers show he was divorced from both his first wife, Nikidra, and from his second wife, who obtained a restraining order. He also ran up...
Now, yesterday, y'all know I was joking. Let me say this. Yesterday, I was joking about, okay, I see why, you know, he did what he did. You know, his wife done took all his money or something like that. Well, somebody hit me up on my comment section and said, hey, man, y'all can't be blaming everything on the women. I'm tired of you bloggers blaming everything on the women. My bad, man. My bad. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying, you know, that was probably part of his trigger, you know, for his wife to leave him and everything. I wasn't blaming her. I'm just saying that probably what drove him crazy. That's all.
$30,000 in credit card debt and was living in
Shout out to you, Here For It. Salute.
Near Houston. 42-year-old Jabbar spent nearly a decade in the Army, served in Afghanistan, and left with the rank of Staff Sergeant before he went on his terror spree that ended in a hail of gunfire on Bourbon Street. We spoke to Trevor Neal, an Army buddy.
That really hurted me because that was my brother for 6 months. I knew that he fell down the wrong path, you know, later on in life.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar.
Jabbar posted this video in 2020 when he was a real estate agent in Houston, and it's filled with clues about his obsessive personality.
All the I's are going to be dotted, all the T's are going to be crossed. Everything's going to go off without a hitch.
Behind him is a poster headed Discipline. Slogans like disciplined people build routines, go all in, and take responsibility. Behind him is a shelf of self-help books, including one on leadership. He looked like a prosperous salesman, but over the last 4 years, his life fell apart. Investigators are looking into mysterious flights taken by the suspect overseas. In the summer of 2023, he flew from JFK Airport in New York to Cairo. He also flew from Atlanta to Toronto just weeks later.
Law enforcement and the intelligence community is going to be looking very hard at those trips, including travel records, phone records, surveillance, and determining whether or not this individual has met with certain identified individuals of particular terrorist organizations.
Investigators raided an Airbnb in New Orleans where Jabbar was staying and found a cache of explosives. But after saying yesterday that Jabbar had accomplices, the FBI walked that back today.
Now, I want y'all to be aware, too. Right after this dude was unalive, the house that he was staying in, the Airbnb that he was staying in New Orleans, it mysteriously burnt up. Yeah, but it was after he was unalive that it burnt up. But it burnt up. They said it's a mystery to how that happened, but it happened. If he knew how to remote the rest of that stuff, maybe that was the only button he was able to push before the laws took him out. that made that burn up. I'm just saying. But the house burnt up that he was staying in, man. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna really need y'all to get these likes up. We need 100 on the board. We need 100 points on the board, man. We 30 minutes in. We should already have 100 likes. We almost to 200 people. 30 more, y'all. Click those 3 dots. Hit that thumbs up. This is Everything News, and I'm most definitely gonna give you all the news that I got.
Insisting he was another lone wolf.
We do not assess at this point that anyone else involved in this attack except for Shamsuddin Jabbar.
Shamsuddin Jabbar, the terrorist responsible for the Bourbon Street massacre, had planned to slaughter his own family. Today, the FBI revealed new information about Jabbar and 5 chilling videos he posted online as he drove from Houston.
It started over. All right, so make sure you subscribing to the channel if you new, man. Come on, y'all. 30 more, y'all. Hit that like button, man. I don't care if we left with only 100 people. Listen, click the 3 dots, hit the thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel if you new. We need 25 more people to hit that like button, man. We most definitely got a goal of 100 likes to get the show started. So if you ready to get to the rest of it, man, hit that like button. No reason why we should have 75 likes with 175 people. That means there's still 100 people in the building that ain't hit the like button. Man, we need 100 on that like, man. Let's get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? But so far, what are y'all thinking, man? How y'all feeling about both of these situations? Most definitely is a big coincidence, y'all. You know, if they were able to do this at the same time. Yeah, let's clear some of these haters up out of here, man. If you ain't hit the like button, leave. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You don't want to participate, go find you another channel. We most definitely need 100 on those likes, though. You ain't sending no money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hit the super chat or the super sticker, and then you won't hit the like button. You deserve to get up out of here. Shout out to IGT for that gift, man. I think we need 1 more. You know, we got to get at least 3. We need at least 1 more, man. And we need 20 more people to double tap that screen, man. Get the likes up. 20 more on that like, man. I'm from New Orleans. Adriana, how you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about, you know, the situation? Do y'all feel like that they are connected, or do you feel like it was 2 people that just had a random thought at the same time to go blow some stuff up? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Can I share the video? Absolutely. Share the video, man. If you out there, you got a community wall, share me out, man. Tell them my hair live, Everything News over here. You know, your first trap anchor man is in the building, man. And we most definitely need 17 more likes. Shout out to IGT for that gift. Appreciate it. You know what it is. Yeah, man, you can share it, though. Shout out to her for another one. We in here, man. It don't matter if they cost a quarter. I ain't tripping. We just most definitely needed those 3. I feel like the situation was 2 different situations, and I feel like it's gonna happen again around Super Bowl time. Dang, Adrian. Okay. Fair assessment. 17 more people on that like. Let's get the likes up, man, so we can get where we going. We got more than enough people in the building to have 100 likes. You know what I'm saying? So let's hit that like button, man. Hit the like button.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Meadow Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist.
This is Jabbar, the one from New Orleans,
where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch.
Ooh, crossing I's and what do you say? Dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, without a mistake, without a mix-up, to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Was he foreshadowing? That's crazy, bro. Seems super normal, but he ain't. Man, there's a lot of crazy people out here that seem to be normal. You know, this guy right here is a veteran. You know, they be suffering from all kind of stuff from the military, PTSD, you know, all that kind of stuff. He lost his wife. He was in a financial bind. He just went crazy, y'all. Hey, man, here in chat, what's up, Jalen? LOL telling the T words, what he will do. He pledges his allegiance to ISIS. Don't forget that. 16 more people on that like. Let's get the likes up, man. We got 176 people in the building. We need at least 100 likes on the board. Continue to double tap that screen or click those 3 dots and hit that like button, man. You know what I'm saying? We need 15 more people on that like, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, we good. LOL telling them, okay, hit the like button and double tap the screen. All right.
So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career as a real estate agent, where I feel like what really sets me apart from other agents is my ability to be able to, one, be a fierce negotiator. So not only do I brilliantly market your property to make sure it gets sold as quickly as possible or gets leased as quickly as possible, but I'm also going to take every ounce of energy and put it into negotiating for you and for your property to get the best deal that you can possibly get for it. So once we get to the closing table, all the I's are going to be dotted, all the T's are going to be crossed, everything's going to go off without a hitch, and that is my word that I'm giving to you as your real estate agent. So if that's the type of agent you're looking for, reach out to me. You see my phone number on the page. If not, it's 832-774-9718. Give me a call. And even if you don't want to have me as your agent, call me with any questions.
Don't call him. He on alive now. They took him out of New Orleans. You can't call him. You know what I'm saying? That number liable to go to somewhere else. Don't call him. Hey, Miss Terry, how you doing? Shout out to my boy Ballin in the building as well. We need 6 more people to double tap that screen, man. Get them likes up. You know what I'm saying? This is Mr. Jabbar himself in the flesh right here telling y'all, you know, hit his line. Don't hit it, because he not with us no more. We need 5 more people to double tap that screen, man. Out of 171 people, we ought to be there like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't even have to say it again. We there so fast. 5 more people. Don't call him. Yeah, Khalid, don't call him. He ain't going, it won't be him that answer. You might get the answer machine, or you might get a family member, but you'll most definitely not get him. Hey, LeJean, how you doing? What's up, Miss Weber? We in the building, man. We need 4 more people to double tap that screen. Get the likes up. Man, you know what I mean. I'm still in here balling, man. I'm flossing with my team. I'm straight up out of Texas. I keep creases in my jeans. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel, man. Because we ain't going to go nowhere farther until we get 100 likes.
Questions you may have. So even if you're a first-time home buyer, or you're an experienced real estate investor and you're just looking for somebody to help you with doing some analysis on some properties that you're looking at, either way, give me a call. I'm glad to help anytime, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. Good evening.
Ain't that something, man? You know what I'm saying? To go from looking like a normal person to turning into a T word. You know what I'm saying? Boy, this is crazy. Man, look, man. Finna keep on telling y'all playing with the like. 3 more on that like. We got 152 people in the building, man. We need 100 on the board, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I think I side with his wife, with this guy. Well, come to find out with this guy right here, him and his wife was most definitely having problems because she put a restraining order on him. I got that too. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna get nowhere if we don't get these likes up. You know what I'm saying? This ain't your ordinary channel. We demand 100 likes. Fast. Do it fast. Do it fast as you can. All right, so this is one of the people. This young lady right here was unalived at the New Orleans attack. You know what I'm saying? When he plowed through the crowd, man. You know what I'm saying? Ending her whole life, man. She didn't even get to get it all the way started. When your parents say don't go anywhere, please listen to them. This was an act of terror, and now my baby is gone, y'all. My baby is gone. She is no longer with us. I lost my baby. Just pray for me and my family, please. God, I need you now, man. You know what I'm saying? So this young lady's mom and her family basically told her to stay at home, y'all. They told her to stay at home. She decided to go out and party, and it cost her life, man. Prayers for her mom, prayers for her family, and prayers for her soul that it goes where it's supposed to go, man. which is up, not down, man. That's crazy, man. You know, sometimes things happen, man. Sometimes things happen and it be beyond your control. But sometimes just listening to that person that got their intuition, like, man, I don't feel right with you going here, could potentially save your life. You know what I'm saying? It could potentially save your life. You know, so always listen to the ones that got your best interests at heart.
Back now with the latest on the horrific breaking news out of New Orleans, where a car plowed into a group of revelers on Bourbon Street. We have just learned that 10 people are now confirmed dead, 30 others injured. Police say this was an intentional act. The suspect, we're told, is on the loose. This is video from Bourbon Street captured by our ABC station WGNO in New Orleans. Authorities say the driver took off after hitting the victims and is not yet in custody. All this happening around 3:15 this morning. Eyewitnesses on the scene and on social media are reporting a very grim scene. They're saying they've seen that truck plow into the barricades and the crowds of people. The New Orleans Police Department says it was 100% staffed for New Year's Eve and the Sugar Bowl today, and that an additional 300 officers were already on duty from outside agencies. We are, of course, working to confirm more information for you, but again, a very grim scene on Bourbon Street near Canal Street in New Orleans, and we are still working to get more information for you.
Sad.
Back now with the latest on the...
Sad, man. Very sad situation, man. Can't believe they did it. Shout out to everybody that hit that like button. Don't let it stop there. Continue to double tap that screen and get those likes up. We most definitely on our way to 19K, y'all. We at 18,695, man. We need a little over 300 subscribers, man, to be where we need to be, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribing to the channel if you new. Let's most definitely get into some of this late breaking news on this New Orleans attack, man, with some live updates, some updates that we got today that we didn't have yesterday. They most definitely brought us more information. We most definitely here for it. Let's most definitely get to it, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Double tap that screen. Continue to get those likes up. All right, let's go.
The FBI now says they believe the man behind the deadly New Year Day attack in New Orleans worked alone. From his military background to online videos he posted hours before the attack, we're learning more.
Let's run it back. So this is one of the ones. All right, so in this video, they telling you that they feel like they may not be connected, and they basically telling you that this guy acted alone. There was not 3 or 4 people setting out all these things out on the road, this, that, and the third. No, it was him. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that was doing it. Check this out. Watch it.
Says they believe the man behind the deadly New Year Day attack in New Orleans worked alone. From his military background to online videos he posted hours before the attack, we're learning more about the alleged assailant. This afternoon, President Joe Biden addressed the latest on the investigation.
The attacker posted several videos.
We got Joe in the
before the attack, indicating his strong support for ISIS. Federal law enforcement and the intelligence community are actively investigating any foreign or domestic contacts and connections that could possibly be relevant to the attack.
Meanwhile, a truck explosion outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas is being investigated as a possible act of terrorism. What we're learning about the man behind the New Year's Day blast. We start tonight with CBS News reporter Katie Weiss in New Orleans. Katie, thanks for being here. What more are you learning this evening on the ground in New Orleans?
Well, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you might be watching in the country tonight. I know a lot of people are very concerned about what's been going on here in the French Quarter. I'm standing about a block away from where the attack took place yesterday, just after 3 a.m. I was in this area when it happened and was able to speak with witnesses at the time, but now we're learning a lot more. We were able to learn, first of all, I was able to confirm first today among any news outlet that both police officers who were shot in this attack have been released from the hospital. They are home safe. And I'm told also from my police sources that...
So what's up, Pandy? So 2 officers who were involved in this situation, y'all, we find out that 2 officers got popped, but they survived, but they most definitely in the hospital. I didn't know that yesterday.
They are, quote, doing well, which is very exciting news, certainly amid a lot of heavy news for folks here in the Big Easy. Some other things that we're learning, as you can see behind me here, at this intersection of Iberville and Royal Street, like I said, just a block away from Bourbon where the attack took place, you can see that there are several armed guards. You'll see a lot of these armed guards throughout the French Quarter tonight, and probably for the next few weeks as well. I'm told that
they was out there because they opened back up Bourbon Street, and they also had their college football game today. So they had to make sure everything was still, they had to make sure everything was secure for that. Did you cover what happened in New York? I most definitely did, Penny, at the beginning.
State has released several resources through an executive order, including the National Guard. We've seen Homeland Security here. They have made this French Quarter basically on lockdown when it comes to security. Every single area, every single intersection you walk to, you'll see barricades like this. Extra protections to make sure that another attack doesn't come when we have so many other big sporting events upcoming.
Stay with us. Authorities, we now learn, have searched the Houston location linked to the attacker and his Airbnb in New Orleans.
I don't think
what more are you and CBS News colleagues learning about?
I don't think I could go there that fast either, man. That's too fast. It just happened yesterday. I'll still be scared. But they done assured the people that everything is going to be okay, saying that this was an act by one person and not a lot of people. So since he unalive, they got nothing to worry about.
Him.
Well, we know that the officials have actually obtained 3 different cell phones and 2 laptops from the attacker.
3 cell phones, 2 laptops.
And they have been reviewing those, combing through those for more information about what his motives might have been. Also, something we learned from the FBI earlier today is that the attacker had actually posted 2 different videos on his social media accounts while he was on his way here to Louisiana to take care.
Premeditated. He already knew what he was going to do. He posting videos and messages on Facebook. He has stuff on Facebook. That's where it's at. So if y'all remember his name, Jabbar, whatever his last name is, you can go probably look up his Facebook and see those videos that he left behind.
Carry out the attack. So, and in those videos, one of those videos, he actually talked about how he had joined ISIS earlier this year, just before the summer, according to the FBI, and how he wanted the focus of his attack to be more on the fight between believers and non-believers. That is a quote. The war.
The reason he wanted it to be noted, and for people to know that this was not just a random act, basically. He's saying he wants the people to know that this is between the believers and the non-believers. That was the reason why he did that, because it's people who don't believe. I guess in Allah or Jesus or whatever, you know what I'm saying, since he pledged his loyalty, or his life to ISIS, man.
Between believers and non-believers. So some very interesting evidence here about his motivations potentially for carrying out this attack. But we're going to continue to learn more and ask authorities for more information to better understand.
They was not going to lose out on all that money. All right, sexy black.
Katie Weiss on the ground on this tragic story. Thank you for your reporting. We'll stay with you in the coming days. Meanwhile, the FBI does say the subject in the investigation into that Las Vegas truck explosion was a U.S. Army member. Officials say they're still waiting on conclusive DNA testing to determine that 37-year-old Matthew.
This is the old boy that did it in Las Vegas. Both of these people were military veterans, man. You know what I'm saying? What's up, AJ? Hey. You know what I'm saying? Both of them military veterans. See, yesterday was when it happened. Today they give you all the updates, the background, everything. You find out everything today.
Himmelsberger was the driver found inside the vehicle after the explosion, but they do say his military ID, passport, and credit cards were found inside the truck and have confirmed that truck was rented to him. Let's turn now to CBS News senior national correspondent Charlie Daggett. Charlie, thank you for being here. What else are we learning from the military and your sources about this suspect?
Yeah, so Robert, we've learned he is or was a highly decorated Army Green Beret. He had 19 years of service, dating back to 2006, deployed multiple times to Afghanistan.
So I seen somewhere they said this dude was like a special ops person. You know what I'm saying? 19 years in the military. I think the one that did it in New Orleans did 10 years in the military. Man, listen, I don't know what it is about the military, but after people come from there, they don't be the same no more, man. I don't know what's make them like that, but once they go and they come back, they don't be the same person that you knew before they went to the Army. I wonder why that is. Both of them in the military, come on. They say something about MK Ultra. Okay, that's like the 50th time I seen that. Military plus rentals from the same app. Yep, Turo. He didn't know what the Cybertruck was made like a tank, and it backfired. Took him out. It's giving, yeah, I feel you, EJ.
Other tough areas, like including Ukraine and the Congo. He earned 5 Bronze Stars, including one for valor, which is typically awarded for things like heroism in combat or courage under fire. He was still an active soldier, and he was on leave when the incident happened. As you mentioned, he was 37 years old. He was living in Colorado Springs.
Oh, dude, that got the one in New Orleans got a honorable discharge, but they saying the Matthew dude was still an active military person. Oh, wow.
Which is where he picked up the Cybertruck, that much we know. Now, some analysts have suggested that his level of expertise in handling explosives from those years of experience out in the field would have been far more advanced than, the crude explosives and fireworks that were used in the blast.
The FBI, Charlie, said today...
Oh, they say he was a bomb expert, worked on robots and drones. Oh, man, John.
There is, quote, no definitive link between this explosion and yesterday's New Orleans attack. What do you know about any possible similarities, if any?
There they go. Everybody looking for the connection.
Well, there is a definitive link. It's why you and I are speaking right now. Former service members, right? Then there's the timings of the attacks, both of them taking place within hours of each other on New Year's Day. Both men rented their vehicles from the Turo car sharing app, which may have made it easier.
He's giving y'all some of the similarities. Y'all better listen close. Is there a connection? Like I said on my thumbnail, what you think?
Than like conventional car rental agencies. Both men, American-born, U.S. service members. Both spent time at Fort Bragg. That's what it was, now renamed Fort Liberty. And both men were deployed to Afghanistan, though not necessarily at the same time. Back in 2009. But as you said, neither the FBI nor U.S. military officials we've spoken to have seen any kind of overlap between those two suspects. But I have to add here, that's not definitive. It hasn't been ruled out. They just haven't found anything.
Elon Musk posted online, the billionaire posted that, quote, the evil knucklehead picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. Cybertruck actually contained the explosion.
I read y'all that last night.
Have officials shed any more light on the details of this explosion, this tragedy in Las Vegas?
All right, Jalen says that's why they're going to replace soldiers with robots to avoid some of this crazy stuff. Robots not going to go rogue. Yeah, already, as long as you keep them under control. AJ say, let's run them lights up, chat. It never seemed worth it. To me, it's crazy, y'all. Now think about all the drones that have been spotted everywhere. Sexy Black, all around the world, man. They've been seeing these drones. All right, Clarence says trust if he was to use his ODA craft, he would not have been caught, and people would be unalive. Everything you are hearing is speculation. Period. Okay, I bet. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, there might be something to that evil knucklehead statement. This afternoon at a press conference in Vegas, Las Vegas, the Clark County Sheriff said the force of the blast was largely contained to the inside of that steel-sided truck itself. And so it vented, his words, it said it vented out and up and would have caused far more damage to the front of the hotel instead of being contained to the interior of the vehicle itself.
Charlie Daggett, we appreciate you reporting it.
Which really speaks volumes for the Tesla trucks. You know what I'm saying? It contained most of the blast from a bomb to the inside of the truck, man. I think Elon Musk finna get a lot more business. What y'all think? Could this have been a publicity stunt? I'm just saying.
always, thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Let's now bring in Colin P. Clark. He's the director of research for the Soufan Group, a global intelligence and security consultancy. Thanks for being here. The New Orleans attack, as you know, is being investigated as an act of terrorism, while the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion that took place in a Cybertruck is being investigated as a possible act of terrorism. What do you know about the difference, if any, between these attacks in terms of the nature of a terrorist attack and the investigations?
Thanks for having me. I think they're quite different. I mean, you and Charlie just talked about some of the similarities, but, the Las Vegas attack may very well be a suicide that was meant as some form of political protest. Other than the individual in the car that was killed, no one else was killed to my knowledge, whereas the New Orleans attack was clearly intended to kill the maximum amount of people, to maximize casualties, done with multiple layers of redundancy: the vehicle, firearm, and then improvised explosive devices which failed to detonate.
What do you make of how law enforcement officials are determining what happened in New Orleans regarding terrorism,
like the 4th of July.
but taking a little bit more time? It seems.
I think he put those fireworks off in there, like kind of being funny though, like Happy New Year, boom, and then all the fireworks start going off everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause the fireworks really serve no purpose besides that, if I must say so myself. Breaking news. I'm glad I didn't read that.
Teams in Las Vegas.
Well, I think, the fact that there were videos posted by the New Orleans attacker, the fact that there was an Islamic State flag
AJ,
found
crazy.
attached to the vehicle,
I'm
there's
glad
just
you
more
wasn't
evidence,
out there.
there's more data points suggesting what the motive was. Whereas in Las Vegas, I haven't seen any kind of a manifesto, any kind of, video, any kind of...
AJ say that's 67 miles from her house. You know what I'm saying? She say she been seeing military choppers all day. Dang, man. They gonna be on it, man. They got them games going on there, man. Listen.
Recordings that have explained why this individual did what he did. Was it an anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk act? Was it meant to serve some different purpose? And again...
now, like I said yesterday, I most definitely believe that this was a thing when it comes to the one in Vegas. It most definitely was to send a message to Elon Musk as well as Donald Trump. You got the Tesla, which is Elon Musk, and you got the Trump Tower that he blew the truck up in front of. I think he was most definitely trying to send those guys a message. What's up, Cut Up Girl? Shout out to you.
This is somebody that was in the special forces. Had he wanted to kill large numbers of people, I have no doubt that he could have. He chose not to.
A link between these incidents has not yet been identified. Charlie talked about some of the overlap in terms of just the kind of profile of the alleged assailants or people involved in these respective cases. When you look at both of these and you see the military backgrounds, what does that say, if anything, to you?
Well, I think we have to be fair and say that these were quite different military careers. The Special Forces officer involved in the Las Vegas attack was a 5-time Bronze Star recipient, whereas the individual was in human resources and information technology.
His girlfriend said he was a conservative. All right, Bob, appreciate that information, man. We covering the Las Vegas and the New York situation. We trying to see, you know what I'm saying, if there's a connection to these two. We already know that they both were in the military. We know they both spent time at the same military facility. We ain't sure if they spent it at the same time or different times, and they both served in the Afghan war. They both rented rental trucks from Toro, and they both drove them to the places they were going and caused mass hysteria.
Not to denigrate his service at all. I think very different types of careers, very different types of capabilities that each of these individuals possessed.
What next? What are officials looking for in terms of any potential connections, any new clues? What do you expect to be potentially revealed in the coming days in terms of the scope of the investigations?
Yeah, so authorities are doing the digital forensics right now.
All right, we got somebody new in here. What's up with it? Nugan says, what is this? This is the suspects from the New Orleans bombing situation, act of terror, and the Las Vegas person act of terror. We trying to see if there's any more connections with these two, if they knew each other, if they planned this out, because people find it very suspicious that these events occurred hours and hours of each other. You know what I'm saying? And that these dudes both fought in a war. These dudes both were in the military. These dudes both, just went crazy on the same day.
Going through the electronic devices, likely of both individuals, obviously looking to see if they've communicated with each other in any way. I think for Jabbar, the New Orleans attacker, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on, was this an individual that was merely inspired by the Islamic State, or was he actually in touch with any Islamic State operatives overseas, meaning a different type of attack? We would call that, rather than ISIS inspired, we say he was cyber coached, or what we used to refer to as virtual entrepreneurs, where ISIS is identifying an individual and then kind of helping them select a target, helping them select a weapon, tactics, etc.
Tough story. Colin P. Clark, thank you for your insights.
All right, so they gave us a little bit of the history on both suspects. You know what I'm saying? A walk down through there of what they think, if it's connected, if it's not connected. But wait. All right, so there's more. So Trump came out. They saying that Trump came out yesterday talking about, making it seem like it was the people crossing the border illegally. The immigrants had something to do with it. And found out that was false. So he had to come back and clean it up, man. You know what I'm saying? He had to come back and clean it up because we found out that old buddy was from Houston. You know what I'm saying? And because he was speaking on the New Orleans situation. We found out that the person that did that was from Beaumont / Houston, Texas. Not an immigrant. You know what I'm saying? So Trump had to clean it up. Check this out.
Hours after the deadly New Year's Eve truck attack in New Orleans, when confirmed information was scarce, President-elect Trump was quick to suggest falsely that the suspect was an immigrant. As some early reporting on the attack said, the driver crossed the border from Mexico. Trump wrote on Truth Social, when I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. Law enforcement officials have since identified the driver as a U.S.-born citizen and Army veteran from Texas. My source on this and more is Maggie Haberman, CNN political analyst and senior political correspondent for the New York Times. Hi, Maggie. Good to see you. So,
Trump.
Look, despite the confirmation that the suspect was born in the U.S., Trump is doubling down on his message, saying that Biden's open border policy has led to a violent erosion of safety, national security.
Trump said, no, forget that. Trump said, no, forget that. No, the immigrants is responsible. Even though they done said that these people are two war veterans, United States citizens, your boy Trump is still like, no, man, the borders ain't safe. Trump is most definitely going to always push for his first, when he get off in there the first day, he going to deport these people. He most definitely trying to make that happen by blaming everything on the immigrants. I'm just saying, Trump said, forget that. It's the immigrants. Cut Up Girl say, let's go. Always with that news you can use for whole years to go with this foolish. Let's go, Cut Up Girl. LOL. I know Trump is evil, allegedly. AJ say, no lies. Let's go.
Democracy. Now, of course, there are national security concerns about the border, but that doesn't have anything to do with this case in New Orleans. What's behind this?
Well, what's behind it, Pam, is that Trump has a pretty firm anti-immigrant box in which he fits most things, and this is no exception. They're tripling down. His communications director, Stephen Chung, sent me a statement tying what this incident to, it loosely tying this incident to examples where immigrants have crossed the border who had ISIS ties. They were relatively small in number compared to the number of border crossings there are daily. But you're going to, I suspect, see President-elect Trump continue to push this because he has said, and he said it in a speech in Arizona a couple of weeks ago, that on day one he is going to seal the border. And I think you are going to see him use this as a reason why, even though, you don't need to be in touch with people who have come across the border to become radicalized. And there's so much we don't know about why this suspect in the New Orleans incident developed these views. People can develop these online, as we know. And so, again, I'm not surprised that Donald Trump is doing this, but this is what he's doing.
Right, it is what he's doing, and you just have to wonder what he would have said had it happened on his watch, right? As he is very close to taking office for a second term. In the wake of this attack, Republicans are pushing for quick confirmation of Trump's national security nominee, sort of using this to push for that. Where do things stand on that front, Maggie?
So they basically just said that Trump trying to push an agenda and using this situation as a way to push it. And I'm guessing that the agenda that he's trying to push is toward the one with the immigrants. You know what I'm saying? And people are saying that he said what he said, as a way to drive his point home of we need to get rid of the immigrants type situation and tighten up the borders.
That's an important point here too, Pam. That's not a surprise that is, where their focus is. There are some nominees who are controversial, not all of them, but some of them certainly are, and they want to move as quickly as they can through these hearings and apply as much pressure as they can on senators who are weighing decisions. The Trump team is feeling good, they say, about most of the nominees, but not all of them. There are two in particular who are facing questions from some senators. One is Tulsi Gabbard, one is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. obviously has nothing, or not nothing. He does have some to do with the border, but he is not really a national security figure. Kash Patel, the FBI director, is somebody who Trump is very focused on. Trump's team is feeling pretty good about that one, but they are digging in as hard as they can, knowing that there are uncertainties that come.
I didn't see that, EJ. EJ says, Maher, did you see Elon replace them workers with immigrants? Trump having a meltdown on Twitter. I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to go check it out.
In hearings, so we'll see what it looks like.
What about Pete Hegseth? Do they feel like they know the full universe of what could come out with him?
They are hopeful that they know the full universe, and they want to wait and see what happens at the hearings, but they insist that they believe that he will get through, and they have been pretty consistent on that.
Yeah, I just wonder because they were initially caught off guard with the sexual assault allegation in California. So I wonder if they feel like they have their arms around what could come out and what could be a bruising hearing for him and potentially others. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah, I'm glad she said that. Y'all know Trump gonna have to give some woman a whole bunch of money in his assault case. He lost in court. He got to pay her a bunch of money. I'm going to have to bring y'all up to speed on that one, too. I'm glad she said something about it.
As we know, Trump has endorsed Mike Johnson to stay on as House Speaker. Any feeling in Trump world about how this is going to go? I know Trump's been making some calls to some of the holdouts.
Look, they know that, that there is extremely little room for error here in terms of getting Mike Johnson over the line. They have an incredibly narrow margin in the House, and Trump helped erode Johnson's standing a couple.
I'm about to turn it. It's about to be an act of terror in my chat. You know what I'm saying? If Ballin' and Penny don't stop the foolishness. We most definitely ain't dating at the workplace. Keep that behind the scenes, not on the scenes. We don't want to see it.
A couple of weeks ago by, helping sink this bipartisan budget agreement that Johnson had worked out with House Democrats. They claim that they think that they can get him over the line. I do think that's likelier than not. But these speaker votes, as you know, can get dicey, so we'll see.
We just had a Republican lawmaker on Congressman Lilloda, who said no shenanigans tomorrow. We will have to wait and see on that front, Maggie. Always great to hear your reporting and your insights and analysis on everything. Thank you.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing one day. I ain't heard nothing from Nancy Pelosi in a long time about nothing.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, let's switch over. Okay, and not only did they do that, y'all, you know what I'm saying, but they gave us insight on the Vegas dude, you know, what he had in his truck. You know what I'm saying? His possible motives. You know, today they held a press conference and basically showed pictures that we never seen of this guy and the things that they found and collected off of him, as well as out of that Cybertruck, man. Continue to double tap that screen, man. Let's get the likes to 200 or at least 150, man. The likes ain't moving about 15 minutes since I was complaining about them moving a while ago. Double tap that screen, get the likes up, click the 3 dots, hit the thumbs up. If you're on a mobile device, all you got to do is this. That's the like button. If you're on any other type of device or mobile device and that don't work for you, then click those 3 dots and hit the thumbs up. Okay, we finna go to this press conference that they had in Las Vegas regarding Matthew, who blew up the Cybertruck in front of Trump Tower, you know, and they basically done got his body out the truck, stripped it down, found his military ID along with weapons and all type of stuff. You won't believe it, man. Continue to double tap that screen. Subscribe to the channel if you new, man. Where we at on subscribers, guys? Where we at on subscribers, man? We fast approaching, you know what I'm saying, that 19K, y'all. We need under 300 subscribers, man, to get there. So if you new, make sure you subscribing to the channel, man. Make sure you most definitely hitting that like button, and make sure you most definitely keep it, you most definitely stay tuned. Hold up. Hold on, let me close these out. Decrease some of these windows. All right, let's go.
Investigation. As you look at this Cybertruck here, we had to transport this down to our fleet services so that we could really get through this thing. I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be investigated for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition.
He was burnt beyond recognition, guys. They still haven't identified
his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found...
They found his ID, y'all, his military thingies that say who he is, but at the same time, they saying he was so badly burnt that they couldn't identify the body on the scene. They still haven't identified him yet by just saying, hey, that's him. But you know, the internet always gonna have some kind of way find access before anybody else and put the information out. They most definitely on the internet said that this is him, but as far as official word, they still haven't identified the suspect as being him. They gotta run tests and all this type of stuff before they give before they let us know exactly what they say. You know what I'm saying? They gotta do all the research.
Found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. If you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm. Number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone and a smartwatch, and then several...
Lord have mercy, they recovered a lot of stuff, y'all. Look at all that stuff they got out that vehicle, man. You know what I'm saying? Was even able to recover his ID. That's crazy. He felt nothing. Okay, he probably alive somewhere eating popcorn. No, they got some kind of ways of knowing that it was him. I think they're going to try to identify him by his tattoos. They got some tattoos that they can still see.
Credit cards were also in the name of our subject. Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987.
In Las Vegas in the Cybertruck.
As you'll see here on a picture of his driver's license, let's see. The question really still remains for me, and I know that there's a lot of you folks in the media that are identifying this person as a person in our vehicle. As I mentioned to you already, His body is burnt beyond
What's up,
recognition,
Queen?
and I do still not have confirmation 100% that that is the individual that was inside of our vehicle.
Shout out to Aries Queen for being a member for the last 3 months, man. We covering the situation that happened in New Orleans as well as the one that happened in Las Vegas. These are all the breaking updates, things that's done came out since yesterday, man. Make sure you double tapping that screen and subscribing if you new.
And so, as I'm calling it now, the subject or person of interest, I will not come back until I have the confirmation through DNA or medical records that this is indeed, in fact, the subject inside of the vehicle. Now, further complicating this,
I have no idea what kind of credit cards they were, AJ. You know what I'm saying? John's AJ, all right. Bet his people saying he was such a good guy. I bet you too. You know they always say that. They got to say he was good and something just clicked in him one day. They never want to say, oh yeah, he's just crazy.
Identification of this individual. We also discovered through the coroner's office that the individual had sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the vehicle. One of the handguns was found at his feet inside of the vehicle. Obviously, in how we're trying to identify him, and I'm feeling comfortable to give you this information, is a tremendous amount of substantial evidence to include he rented the Turo vehicle. There are 2 tattoos, one of which was on the stomach and one of which is on the arm, that we can see bits and pieces of it as in comparison to what it is that we now know he had on his body. That has given us a lot of confidence that this is, in fact.
I told y'all they was trying to identify him by his tattoos, one on his arm and one on his stomach, that they can still make out. But they said his body was so bad, you know what I'm saying, that they have to go to extreme measures to figure out who he is exactly.
The same person, as well as the clearly obvious, which is the credit cards, the military identification, the passport. And then,
Tanika, this is most definitely new breaking. This is all the information on the dude from New Orleans as well as the dude from Las Vegas. This is everything that they done gathered today from what happened yesterday. So it's most definitely new.
Furthermore, as you'll see here in just a very short period of time, we tracked his movements from Colorado to Las Vegas, and in a number of the photographs that we were able to determine, he was the individual that was driving the vehicle. And also, I'd like to iterate this point to you. We still have only ever seen him in this vehicle, and we're not aware of any other subjects involved in this particular case. Now, I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that...
So now he finna give y'all the similarities, you know, just like we've been watching the whole time, trying to figure out if it's a connection. Y'all get those likes up. We 300 deep, man. We need more on that like button. Click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, or simply double tap your screen. That's how you hit the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We on the road to 19K. We at 18.7. Every subscribe matters, so subscribe.
Our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
What's up,
What we do know about that is it's a very large military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years at Fort Bragg, something that continues to remain under investigation. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan in 2009. We don't have any evidence that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else that remains under investigation. And we also know, of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles.
It's crazy.
As far as his military background, it's been confirmed by DOD.
I wonder what he was planning to do with those straps in the car. If he was just gonna blow up everything, why come he had that 50 caliber down by his feet inside the truck? Was that just in case somebody came and tried to get him out the truck before he was able to do what he was gonna do? But he most definitely had a couple of straps inside the Tesla truck with him when he blew it up.
That he was indeed in the United States Army, He was also a Green Beret operations sergeant who spent most of his time at Fort Carson, Colorado, and in Germany. He was on approved leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th Special Forces Group. He was also previously in the National Guard.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
that's
Army
right,
Reserve.
Miss Kitty. That's right. He offed himself. He most definitely took himself out the game while he was still inside that truck. You're exactly right. So that's what the strap was for. I don't know which one he used to unalive himself, but he most definitely unalived himself within there. That 50 cal did more damage than that explosion. If that's what he used. Okay, I bet.
I'd like to point out to you that through exceptional joint investigative effort, we've gotten to a place where we believe we can show you his route to Las Vegas.
They got the whole route
Carlos
now.
will put up the map there for you. And we know that he rented the Cybertruck in Denver on December 28th.
Ain't it something how they able to track him all the way from Denver to Las Vegas, y'all? They finna show you his whole route he took, which is this right here, you know, to get to where he went from Colorado all the way to Las Vegas, y'all. They got the whole route.
We tracked his movements through the Tesla charging stations to Monument, Colorado on December 30th.
Yes, Ken, he had
on
a
the
50
31st
cal
of December,
in that
the
thing.
truck was charged in Trinidad, Colorado, Las Vegas, New Mexico, and Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico. On January 1st, the truck was charged in Holbrook, Flagstaff, and Kingman, Arizona. We last tracked the truck in Kingman at 05:33 yesterday morning. The truck was first spotted in Las Vegas at 7:29 a.m. yesterday. And Carlos will pull up a picture of the truck pulling onto Fashion Show Drive here. And that picture was observed at about 7:34 a.m. We know that he pulled into the Trump Valet, and I believe we have a video of that. You can see the Cybertruck highlighted there.
Pulling in the Trump Tower.
So through extensive surveillance video, we were able to track him leaving there, and we know that he went to several...
Mitchell says, man, that junk just blew up from being a regular Cybertruck. Elon just gonna let them go on thinking it wasn't, even though there's been like 50 other Cybertrucks that blowed up in the last year. All right, well, that's your perspective. I feel you. They distracting us as we speak, Miss Kitty says. Mel say facts. Okay, I bet. Why is it always one of our own peeps doing this all the time? I don't know, MJ. People just be flipping their lid, man. Y'all get those likes up. Double tap that screen. Click those 3 dots.
Different places along Las Vegas Boulevard, and he spent some time in a parking lot of a business near Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. We didn't have a video of the truck pulling back onto Las Vegas Boulevard from the Sands.
There go the truck. Y'all watch his movement. It's
See
right
that
there. There it go again.
That's north on the boulevard from Sands at 8:39, where he then immediately heads to the Trump Hotel, pulls into the valet area, and as of course you all know, the explosion occurred within 17 seconds of his arrival at the valet. There's some additional investigative updates that are going to be provided to you by a couple of the other speakers here. The first of which will be our special agent in charge of the FBI local office, Spencer Evans. Spencer?
Dang!
Good morning. My name is Spencer Evans. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas division. As the sheriff mentioned, we've been working through the night with our partners, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies, to gather all the facts and determine a motive to what was initially reported to the FBI as a bombing incident, to which our special agent bomb techs and others responded. Obviously, we're always concerned in these sorts of events to ascertain what the motive is. We understand that's everybody's at the forefront.
I'm glad I wasn't near it either, man. Lord, have mercy. That was a big boom. Talk about the big bang. That was most definitely one right there. We need 40 more likes to be at 200, y'all. Double tap that screen.
Everyone's thoughts. And so looking into exactly what the motivation is remains our number one priority. This is why the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been brought into play. The Joint Terrorism Task Force, most important part of that acronym is joint. It is done in concert with our partners, which are comprised of more than a dozen investigative agencies here throughout the state of Nevada. We've been working hand in glove, side by side, tirelessly to determine, is there any ongoing threat to the public, to identify the subject, to determine any potential connection to other events going on.
Man, with these sound effects, not gonna bother me. Hey, man, I'm just saying that was a big boom on them, man. I swear to God. They can blow up them trucks anytime they want to. It's a computer and has GPS and other stuff. Okay, Treasy.
In the world, most notably in New Orleans, and then obviously to determine if there's anything else that we need to be tracking down. At this time, as the sheriff's pointed out, we feel that the subject has been identified, although not conclusively, waiting for DNA evidence on that front. However, we do feel like we have the subject identified, and at this time there is no information about additional subjects that the FBI is tracking on. Our resources, as I mentioned, that have been deployed in support of this event include Special Agent Bomb Tech.
Hey, Matt Tavius Hill. Hey, man, we most definitely value what you got to say, but make sure you misspell your cuss words in the chat, bro. Misspell all cuss words. Y'all know YouTube, be sensitive. We ain't got time for them to be trying to spot nothing in the video to try to flag. So make sure you misspell those cuss words.
Our evidence response team, which is processing crime scenes side by side with the forensics folks from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, our investigators, our intelligence analysts, and then outside of the FBI Las Vegas field office, we have investigative leads that are being conducted by FBI field offices, both internationally and domestically as well. As always, when the FBI is involved with any sort of case like this, we ask for help for the public. Anyone with information related to this incident, we encourage you to please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. We've already received thousands of tips.
Look, they running in there right there. If y'all looking right there, they showing the route that the truck took right here and the people running into the building right there.
Tips related to this incident. The challenge that we face moving forward is to separate those that are pertinent and relevant and those that can be verified for those from those that have not. For example, one of the tips that we received just today relates to information alluding to this subject's personal experiences related to his time and activity in the military. Again, that's unverified and uncorroborated, but one of many tips and leads that we will be following up in the days that come. If you have any additional information, again, encourage everyone, 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit it online, tips.fbi.gov. We will tirelessly work to exhaust all investigative leads and conclusively determine what the nature of this particular incident was, what the motivation was, and to the extent possible, share all that information as we obtain it. I'll now turn some time over to the Assistant Special Agent in charge from the ATF, Kenny Cooper.
This is all the updates from New Orleans, Las Vegas, guys.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kenny Cooper. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge of ATF San Francisco Field Division. ATF is bringing our expertise in post-blast investigations and our crime gun intelligence to specifically assist in this investigation. I will tell you that our Special Agent Bomb Techs are working with FBI and with Las Vegas Metro and sifting through that post-blast.
All right, we got scenario that says not disrespecting, but some military and police are insanely violent. Just saying, you right about that, my guy. You right. It's cause they speak bullshit fluently. Okay, I bet. Tashay, what's up? She say, I'm in Vegas and there is a mall across the street. I witnessed the explosion. Lord, have mercy. Tashay, oh man, I know that had to be scary for you, man. Woo-wee, man. Tashay said she seen it. Lord, have mercy.
blast debris to find components and investigative leads that will derive from that evidence process. We're too early into that investigation process to give any determination as far as how this device was initiated. I will say that we do know that the components primarily consist of fireworks, mortars, aerial shells, and are all consumer fireworks. Nothing commercial grade has been discovered at this point, and we've identified some fuel enhancers like the Coleman fuel and VP Racing fuel, and some explosive targets that can be purchased at any sporting goods store. We've also, as the sheriff mentioned, we've identified 2 semi-automatic handguns recovered from the Tesla. We have successfully traced those firearms, and I can tell you that Matthew Livesberg lawfully purchased both of these firearms on December 30th, 2024. We have agents following up those investigative leads. We know exactly where those firearms were purchased, and we will share any developments from those leads as they come in. Thank you.
We also have the Clark County Fire Chief here, John Steinbeck, and he didn't...
Penny, yes, they got the receipts. They know where the guns came from. It's crazy, man. I thought someone was busting. I've been subbed. Okay, Tashay, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you.
Have any additional updates, but if there's any questions in regards to what the fire department did during this, he's here to answer those questions as well. With that, I'd just like to say before I take a couple questions from all of you, you'll notice that we're not releasing information that we haven't corroborated and verified. We're very well aware of all of the things that are going around on social media. But that's just the way we're going to conduct this investigation. We're not putting it out until we can tell you for a fact what information it is that we're putting out. And so we're going to continue to do that. But I'm also confident to tell the Las Vegas community and this great nation that we don't believe there's any further threat from this subject or anybody associated to him here in Las Vegas. With that, Denise, I saw you had your hand up. If you could just identify yourself, please.
Did this suspect have any other connection to Las Vegas? Had he ever been here before, or any reason to be here?
So the question was, did the subject have any ties to Las Vegas, or had he ever been here before?
Yeah, man, we nearing hour 2, man. We most definitely need 30 more people on that like button, man. 2 hours, 200 likes. Get the likes up, guys. Double tap the screen and click those 3 dots. Hit that thumbs up.
I do believe we had one instance a number of years ago where he stayed at a local hotel, but we're still trying to verify that information as well. Sir?
David Charles, KLAS TV. There was, you have a gentleman in a Cybertruck Trump hotel. There's information that the FBI was in Colorado Springs last night, possibly at the gentleman's home. Any information?
They say, what about the random fog that's all over the country? Well, I ain't seen none of the fog in Texas. What's up, Sotrolific? I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to have to look into that situation as well. I seen EJ came through here yesterday and said something about that. But I haven't seen any reports on the fog yet.
Why?
I think I'll let Spencer answer that question.
So as I mentioned, the motivation at this point is unknown. We are, as I mentioned earlier, following investigative leads both domestically and internationally as well. And so that includes search warrants and witness interviews, collecting forensic.
It may be in Texas, AJ, but it ain't in my part of Texas. I ain't seen it.
Information and basically trying to compile the facts. And so there's investigative activity taking place literally around the globe, trying to determine what the potential nexus is. But at this time, at this particular moment in time, as the sheriff aptly said, we have to focus on what we know and what we don't know. We know we have a bombing, absolutely, and it's a bombing that certainly has factors that raise concern. It's not lost on us that it's in front of, of the Trump building, that it's a Tesla vehicle, but we don't have information at this point that definitively tells us or suggests it was because of this particular ideology or any of the reasoning behind it. That's the purpose of the investigation that we're conducting, is to get to the bottom of exactly what happened, why and how.
Sir?
Tim Caputo with KBC Los Angeles. You mentioned a number of similarities between this case and the one in New Orleans. How far in the investigation process do you guys go to try to rule out that they are connected, knowing that you already have a couple of things that seem to connect them together?
So the question is how are we working to rule in or rule out any connections to the New Orleans event? And the answer to that is every tip and lead that comes in, every piece of evidence that comes in, we don't discount it, we work it through. It's an interesting thing during these kinds of investigations that if these turn out to be simply similarities, very strange similarities to have. And so we're not prepared to rule in or rule out anything at this point. There's lots more for us to do in this investigation. We haven't even gotten into the phones or the computers, which are usually very, very instructive and informative to us as we investigate.
Maybe the fog is connected to the drones, y'all. You know, they said that allegedly they were spraying stuff. You know, maybe that's where the fog come from. Your guess is as good as mine.
And we've got a lot more work to do to trace him, to see the stores that he went to rule out anybody else. Lots and lots of investigative work to do, and we're just trying to give you an update on what we know now. That is factual.
Leo Yamat, AP. Was the gunshot wound to his head self-inflicted?
We believe the question was the gunshot self-inflicted, and we do believe it was, since he was the only person in the vehicle, and it occurred immediately prior to the vehicle blowing up. Back there, sir?
Yes, sir. Morgan Chesky, ABC News. With the evidence you've seen so far, are you comfortable now calling this a suicide mission?
Unalive mission.
The question is, am I comfortable calling it a suicide mission? I'm comfortable calling it a suicide with the bombing that occurred immediately thereafter.
Do you know anybody looking to do anything, any kind of harm to themselves, encourage them not to do that? Call a helpline, talk to somebody. Unaliving yourself is never the answer. This is for educational purposes only. No, YouTube be real sensitive about the S word. I'm real sensitive about my like button, man. It's looking rather low over here. We moving into the second hour. We need y'all to double tap that screen or click those three dots, hit that thumbs up for your boy if you don't mind. Likes ain't moved in like 5 minutes. I said it a while ago, they still didn't move, man. We got 281 people in here, only got 174 likes. It's most definitely possible to get some more likes on the like button. You know what I'm saying? So double tap that screen or click those three dots and please, I'm asking, please hit the thumbs up if you don't mind.
I'm not giving it any other labels.
And with the friends and family you've spoken to so far, have they shared any prior red flags?
The question is, did we have any of the family members share any particular red flags? Again, I'll go back to what I know is circulating on social media, but none of that has been verified at this point.
And final question real quickly. All the components you found inside the Cybertruck, were they all purchased in Colorado?
The question is, were all the components found inside of the Cybertruck purchased in Colorado? And I don't know the answer to that. That's part of why we're doing the extensive part of the investigation.
So they asked him if the weapons was purchased in Colorado. Did he just go and bomb on his way, and decide he was going to do it, or what they bought previously? Previously would mean premeditated, if you know anything.
Hi, on the Associated Press. Can you talk a little bit about the
It's a cold world, King. What's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Happy New Year to you as
So,
well.
as you all know, we had just successfully completed a New Year's Eve event where hundreds of thousands of people come to Las Vegas. I've extended our posture just like it is for a New Year's Eve event, where I have thousands of police officers that are working day in and day out. Obviously,
there were terror attacks in Las Vegas and New Orleans. Right now, we looking over the one that happened in Las Vegas. Both occurred hours in between each other, whatever. One hour, one the next hour, 2 military veterans, 2 people that potentially could have known each other. We most definitely looking to see if we can spot another connection besides the ones we already know. So we're looking at all the latest updates of today, following the situation that happened yesterday. That's what's going on.
Dozens and dozens of people that are working on this investigation as well. We'll continue to look at what that security posture looks like, but I'm confident in the safety of our community.
17 Holly Grove say, I'm from New Orleans, and that's who the person was who rolled over the people in the truck. Do your research. I'm just saying, not trying to rub nobody's rustle. I guess he say rub nobody feathers, but I'm guessing he meant ruffle. We need 14 more on that like button, man. Get the likes up.
As we move forward. Go ahead in the middle there.
Joe Mueller, Channel 13 here in Las Vegas, ABC. Did Luxembourg have any sort of criminal record at all? Also, do you know when that Turo vehicle was rented?
The question was, is there any criminal record? None that I'm aware of. That has not been brought to my attention that he had a criminal record. And I said that the Cybertruck was rented on December 28th in Denver, Colorado. Right here.
Hi, Stephanie Price, Fox News.
Hi.
Hi. Have you guys been able to verify that he checked into the Resort World Hotel the day before this?
The question is, do we know if he checked into the Resorts World the day before this? I'm not aware of that information. Sir?
Mike Allen, Fox 5 Vegas. You mentioned increased security presence at the Trump International. That will extend further along the strip.
10 more people on that light button,
The question is generally about the security posture, and that's entirely our entire community, not only Fremont Street and the Strip, but surrounding neighborhoods as well, just to make sure that we have the community feeling that level of safety that they need to feel after an event such as this. Right next to you there.
Katie from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. How exactly were you guys...
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you look at it, these are some tragic situations, man. Most definitely sad. Hate it happen, you know what I'm saying? But, man, stuff like this occurs all the time, you know? People are most definitely crazy in life. Things happen, you know, but Lord have mercy, Jesus, man. Prayers for all involved, man. What's up, Marquisa? Hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? These events are very sad, man. No cap.
Able to use the charging stations to track the car's route?
The question is, how are we able to use the tracking or the charging stations to track the vehicle all the way through? And I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question just yet. I know that there's some capability by being able to determine that the car is connected to the charger. One of the things that we're looking for is anybody that may have been at the charging location at the same time. We're looking to try to identify them because their vehicles would have also had cameras that would have taped anybody in and around them. We're trying to get people that may have been in the same locations at the same time that have video on their vehicle that could provide that video to us as well. I'll take two more. Go ahead.
Can you talk about the damage being contained by the Cybertruck itself, and do you think that plays into whether he was aiming to hurt others or was it a public suicide?
Yeah, the question is about the Cybertruck and the lack of damage to the Cybertruck and containing the explosion. Carlos, if you could put that truck back up there, it might be helpful, but you know,
let's go. Get on the unapologetic. We ain't having none of that. You know what I'm saying? Quickest way to get fired.
See, if you look on the outside of that vehicle, it's hard to tell from that photograph, but other than the windows being gone,
Marquisa, they most definitely said who he was. Basically, he had ID and stuff in the car that didn't get burnt up. But at the same time, they said they're going to take their time and make sure they don't get anything wrong, you know, because just because it had his military ID in there don't mean that it was him. So they're going to try to identify him using tattoos that he had on his body that may be still visible, you know, on his body, even though it was burnt pretty bad.
That's a bit more disassembled than it was at the scene, and the back area being blown off. There's no evidence of physical damage to the sides of that vehicle, and so the explosion that was in that vehicle sort of vented out and up, but it didn't even damage the glass doors at the trunk.
Well, they may use his dental records, AJ, but they ain't said nothing about no dental. I'm just telling you what they said.
So I'm not sure what that means. I also know that there's a number of unexploded pieces of the things that he had inside of that vehicle, and so I just don't think that it was done as well as he was expecting it to be done. But go ahead.
Sophia Rodriguez with Univision Vegas. I was wondering,
we need 7 more on that light button, y'all. 7 more people hit the light button.
So the question is, are we able to recover the video from the Cybertruck? And many of you may know that those Cybertrucks contain a tremendous number of cameras. Again, Mr. Musk has sent out a number of his folks that will be arriving here this afternoon with the intent to try to capture the part of that captured all of the video from inside of the truck. Sir?
Just quickly, you had mentioned a number of the components in the back of the truck that did not go off. Maybe this is a better suited question for ATF, but when it comes to the rudimentary nature of the bomb, I think we mostly think of a bomb that is connected. This seems like individual kind of incendiary and combustible components put together. Can you speak to how you think this is a bomb, or was it just several pieces of things that might blow up and might explode that were just lit and gone off at the same time?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it does appear that it was, I just want to be careful with my language here, but the level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience. That most of that, the materials inside that Tesla were fuel to help fuel a greater explosion. But it's too early to answer any question is if there was sophisticated connectivity to those components to make it ignite in the way that it did.
Penny said she read a report where they said that the guy that blew up the Tesla in front of Trump Tower was actually a Trump supporter. She's feeling like this might be a setup. Hey, could be.
All right, there was one last hand up.
Shout out to Unapologetic. Man, Unapologetic. You always put a smile on my face every time I see you. Shout out to you for gifting those 5 memberships. If you receive one of those from her and you in the building, make sure you thank her, because she didn't have to gift anything, but she did. And I am most definitely appreciative of that. Shout out to you, Unapologetic. Thank you.
Over here, I'll take your last question.
So maybe this is for Special Agent Evans, Mike Carter, Newsmax. Any idea if the suspect has been in touch with any outside terrorist groups? Has this investigation extended globally?
The question is, do we know whether the subject's been in touch with any outside terrorist groups, or if it's been investigated
globally? Let's go,
Marquis.
Thank you.
Okay.
So the question about whether it's being investigated globally, absolutely. Like I said, we're running down investigative leads around the world. No information that we're aware of right now that connects this individual to any terrorist organization around the world. But that's obviously the thrust of the investigation, is ruling out that there's any sort of, terrorism nexus, and then again, getting at what the ideology is.
All right, so they gave us everything we needed to know, regarding what they found inside the Tesla, the route that he took to get to Las Vegas. Shout out to you. I see those. You know what I'm saying? And as well as letting us know that they found his ID, as well as found guns and explosives inside that vehicle. Let's go, Unapologetic. Y'all already know. Shout out to you. But man, this is most definitely crazy. Okay, so we got the rundown on him, right? So now we got to get the rundown on Jabbar. The New Orleans Police Department most definitely gave updates today as well. We just checked out the ones from Las Vegas. Let's teleport to New Orleans to find out about old Jabbar. Hold up. Not yet. We're going to go here. We still on the one in Las Vegas. Hold up.
Investigating and my curiosity here, Hal, is when we're talking about
double tap that screen, y'all. Get the lights to 200.
What factoids are they
double
searching
tap your
for
screen.
in that
Click the
suspect's
3 dots. Hit the
home? Are they trying to pull stuff off of computers? Any physical evidence? What are they looking for?
Austin, they're looking for a little bit of everything. Obviously, yes, they're trying to pull everything from his computers. They're going to look at his cell phone. They're going to look at any way that he's communicating. They're going to be looking at his financial status, his personal status. I think they're going to find out a lot from his personal status. He apparently was having some marital difficulties. In fact, I'm feeling that when they get into it.
Boy, if y'all don't get these lights up, I'm going to grow hair on the top of my head. I'm just saying, shout out to that gift. If y'all don't get these lights up, I'm going to grow hair on the top of my head real fast. I'm be, unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? They acting like they fingers broke. If you're in the hospital, get your nurse to double tap that screen, man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't hurry up and get these lights up, man, I'm going to grow a full set of hair, man. I'm just saying. I've been without hair for a long time. If y'all don't get these lights up, I'm going to grow some more. Y'all don't want to see that.
But that's going to be the primary reason why
Thank you for the
he
gifts,
did what he
Unapologetic.
did. But they're going to basically build a profile of who he was, trying to figure out his motivation for what he was doing. And of course, one of the things they're going to look at, because they started the investigation looking at it as a potential act of terrorism, is to find out, is he tied to any extremist beliefs, any extremist causes? And it sounds It doesn't look like that's the case, but with that said, there have been members of the military that have been recruited into violent extremist groups in the past. Need I remind you, Major Nadal Hassan, the Fort Hood shooter, who had violent Islamic extremist beliefs. If you want to go back further, Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, he was Army, a veteran. So they're going to be looking to see if that's possible, if he was brought in. However, there are some things that are rather inconsistent with that as they go on. The bomb was rather limited considering his background and capabilities. He was a master sergeant in special forces.
So this dude says that the bomb that was going on in the back of that cyber truck was not the full potential that this guy could have made a bomb, because he was most definitely skilled at making them. It could have been a lot worse, is what he's saying. Thank you for the gift already, Tony. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, basically it could have been a lot worse.
Certainly he knows a lot about explosive ordnance and how to build a bomb, and that was not a well-constructed bomb. But it's not clear if that was meant to be a destructive bomb or if the destruction of the bomb was simply aimed at destroying whatever was inside the vehicle himself, which was basically himself. And then, of course, the other thing is that, it's become clear that he took his own life with apparently that Desert Eagle 50 caliber pistol.
Shout out to Unapologetic and her showing out tonight. She done gifted a total of 10 memberships. If you one of the people that got one of those memberships, make sure you thank her. I most definitely thank you. Thank you, Unapologetic, my girl, showing out on y'all, man. I'm just saying.
Prior to the explosion taking place. So they're going to try and piece all this together, try to build a psychological profile, figure out what his goals, what his motivations were, to find out, was he tied to any other extremist, or was he tied to an extremist group? Is there an ongoing threat? Is there something that they should be looking at, or was this a lone wolf style event? In this case, the lone wolf was a suicide that was rather a very big suicide, very high profile suicide, obviously. But if you look at his operational tempo, being in special forces, being deployed all the time, it's a sad but true reflection that certainly for the last 20, 25 years.
Absolutely.
That the operational tempo.
We most definitely, hey, you already know, Unapologetic, you know what I'm saying? We most definitely need green to be seen. And you most definitely helping out with making my hashtag green again. And I appreciate you again. Thank you very much, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else want to give some, y'all can most definitely do that. I ain't stopping nobody. Shout out to those gifted memberships. Make sure if you get one, you thank her. And most definitely keep it going, man. It's $5, the same price as a bag of chips, man. It's not that much, man. We ain't popping nobody across the head. $5 little, man. That's the price of candy these days.
The armed forces is so great, particularly in the special operations community, that it does incur a psychological and emotional cost on our troops, and the suicide rates are just extraordinarily high, and I would say very unacceptable, and that may be, at the root of the problem.
What's up? Just some things I won't say.
One of my big questions here is, and we don't know how much experience this person had with whatever type of munition perhaps was in that cyber truck.
Hey, man, see, I already know, man. They ain't putting it out here like I'm putting it out here, but it's haters all around the world, man. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got to start somewhere. This is my start. We start out small, but you never know. One day we might just be running the whole YouTube. I'm just saying, man, make sure you subscribing to the channel if you're new. Turn on your notification bells to all, man. This is everything news right now. We going through the news you can use. They talking about the terror attack that happened in New Orleans. And this one is Las Vegas. We got New Orleans coming up in a second.
You talked about Oklahoma City, Hal, and we were kind of discussing that in the newsroom earlier today.
All right, go and get that paper.
Comparison.
You know what I'm saying? We don't need you to get in trouble or lose or get fired or none of that unapologetic. You go make that money. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you for stopping through and showing out. You know what I'm saying? While you was able to before you had to go back into work.
A truck being outside of a large building, and then explosives going off. Is it possible that this person, however this played out, perhaps thought that this explosion would be bigger than it actually turned out to be?
I think he probably thought it was, based on, they went in there and looked at it. He bought stuff that was, basically available at retail level. He bought fireworks mortars, if you will. He may have bought a very low-grade explosive that's called tannerite that's used.
Shout out to all the hard-working women out there, man. We most definitely got nothing but love for y'all over here at Everything News, man. Without y'all, I don't know what we'll do, man. Y'all ladies keep on going to work, collecting that paper. You know what I'm saying? Got to get to the money first. Don't worry about me. I'm be all right. You go make that money. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely, I'm be all right. Hell, you going to look up and be hiring folks in no time. Don't play with it. Can't wait to see it. Already, Marquise, so we gonna get there one way or the other.
On shooting ranges.
Let's go, EJ.
Shooting, you put the tannerite behind the target, and if you hit it makes a little explosion. So if you're doing stuff like long-range sniper or long-range shooting, you can actually see when you hit the target very clearly because there's a little explosion that takes place. And that's actually been involved. There was a case in Los Angeles where somebody, he didn't actually end up getting charged with terrorism, but we're pretty sure he was planning a terrorist attack. Was using had lots of tannerite on him, and that was what they thought he was probably going to do. And then, of course, he also had
Aries Queen talking about I'll be sleep in a minute. Hey, man, they want me to stay up. Don't be putting sleep in my head.
Had basically an accelerant gas, if you will, that was used in the vehicle as well. Now, obviously, what he had, he would have to know that would not cause an explosion.
Let's speed
certainly
you up
anything
some,
even
dog. Let's
remotely.
speed you up. Let's speed him up.
Saw this blue ice chest containing the IED to contact.
So now they talking about
if anybody did see anybody dressed like this, they're looking for more
some
photos,
more
they're
pictures
looking for more
of him.
information. They are still doing a lot of facts.
Some more pictures of old Jabbar. You know, ain't that his name, Jabbar or whatever? Some more pictures of him. This picture. He looked like an older man right here. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. He's super great. That's him. All of these are taken from cameras on Bourbon Street. They'll go to Cooler and everything, man. I think they even got footage of him trying to run over some people. Shout out to all my people that's just now tapping in. Make sure y'all double tap that screen, hit that like button. I want you happy. Tori says new subscriber from Australia. Shout out to all my Aussies out there, man. You know what I'm saying? If you living where kangaroos at, you know what I'm saying? And what's the name of them things? What's the name of them wild dogs? Dingoes. Yeah, I think that's what they call. Yeah, shout out to all my people in Australia with kangaroos and wild dingoes out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Finding behind the scenes here. I'm going to read one of the paragraphs here, Hal. They say this is surveillance footage from
man, we done made it to Nigeria, man. Okan, you know what I'm saying? He say, I'm a new subscriber from Nigeria. Lord have mercy, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my people out over there in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? / Africa. We done went worldwide. We worldwide. Man, I can't wait till the day somebody pop up and say I'm from Egypt or something. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like I made it then. But we in Africa, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nigeria, man. Real talk.
2:03 a.m. Central Time, about an hour before the crash. This is the suspect as he walked along a street near Governor Nichols Street. The footage shows the suspect dressed in a light brown long coat, a dark-colored button-down shirt, blue jeans, and what appears to be brown dress shoes. The FBI also, as you see there, releasing a photo of one of the coolers containing an IED, which was placed by the suspect near the intersection. I got this question a lot on social media earlier today when we posted this. Can you just explain in layman's terms, what does IED mean, Hal, and why are these photos important with this investigation?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to all my YouTube friends and tell them, hey man, I done went worldwide, man. I got people from Africa in my ish. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm talking about, man? We way across the other side of the world, man. I think one day we had somebody come in and say they was in Dubai. I'm just saying, man. I'm gonna have to go, you know what I'm saying? I might type that on my community wall. Man, y'all holler at me when y'all got people, you know what I'm saying, from Africa and Dubai and y'all stuff, man, because we worldwide over here. Shout out to the World Wide Web, man. Pushing me out everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man.
Well, IED stands for improvised explosive device. He had basically built a couple of bombs that, and information coming out today has indicated that they had a remote detonator in the truck with him.
Shout out to Cleveland, Ohio in the building. What's up?
To set off a couple of bombs. That's the improvised explosive devices. As you see, the container that he used was a cooler right there. And that's how those 4 individuals they were looking at earlier. Apparently there were 4 individuals, 3 men and 1 woman who had expressed curiosity to slow him down. And once he had done that, he basically finalized his plans. And then he drove around went around the police car that was blocking or insufficiently blocking Bourbon Street, and then just basically accelerated and caused all that carnage along Bourbon Street.
I got to ask you too, Hal, because you're touching on something that I am very curious about. What's the standard line of defense against attacks like this? Obviously, police can line up vehicles to act as barricades. In fact, one of the security camera footage that we saw showed the suspect driving right around a police car in order to do what he did. But I've seen a lot of chatter about bollards as well, Hal.
Yes, well, the bollards are these heavy-duty, if you will, round stanchions that fit well into the street. If a vehicle hits them, they'll stop them cold. Now,
they said those things wasn't working. Whatever bullets or whatever they call them was supposed to stop incidents like this where cars get out of control. They're supposed to stop them in their tracks. For some strange reason, they wasn't working that day. I don't know what it was, but the reports say they didn't work.
Older style stuff is what they actually have on the street right now, which is it's difficult to explain, but it's kind of like a mini ramp that raises up, and it raises up in the direction of the oncoming traffic. So as a vehicle would hit it with its tires, they would basically be caught.
Tina, it just don't make no sense, man. How they was all of a sudden they don't work. That's crazy. It's a pole that comes out the ground. Okay, EJ.
And it would slow the vehicle down, if not stop it completely, because it couldn't keep moving forward. And then there's a couple of obstacles that are heavy steel obstacles. Same concept. The vehicle hits it, and they basically act like a block that stops. Or
he put me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So he told us a little bit about the objects, this, that, and the third. He kind of boring. We're going to skip past him. We're going to go over here, to find out the latest details to what happened in New Orleans from the FBI. Let's see what the FBI had to say about the New Orleans situation. I ain't got all day to be listening to him. He making me tired. You know what I'm saying? He making me tired. All right, let's go over here, and listen to these latest breaking details from the FBI, y'all.
Yeah, I'm from our counterterrorism division at headquarters. I'm also joined by Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Alethea Duncan, from our New Orleans office, who you heard from yesterday. I'm here to discuss not only the latest investigative information we have here in New Orleans, but I'll also let you know about other investigative activities outside of the state. I first, and most importantly, want to send our deepest condolences to the victims of this horrific attack and their loved ones. 14 innocent victims were killed in this senseless attack, and at least 35 were injured. We cannot ease the grief people in this community and across the nation are feeling at this time, but rest assured, we stand with you and in support of you. All the resources, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later, all the resources of the FBI are being focused on tracking down every piece of evidence, every lead,
The FBI
every interview,
say they own it.
every potential lead we've got. While I won't be able to answer all your questions today, my goal is to be as forthcoming as possible with you on what we've uncovered.
Just so y'all know as well, I read reports that said Trump and them gonna go out there, and assess the damage and are willing to do whatever they have to do to help the families of the people affected by this. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them.
So far. First and foremost, let me be very clear about this point. This was an act of terrorism. It was premeditated and an evil act. This was obviously a critical incident, and with that, lots of information and tips come pouring in.
Yeah, man, we done got Big Boy over here. We even got the lady doing sign language in case you can't hear. You know what I'm saying? She throwing up them gang signs that y'all will be able to read. I'm just saying, she doing it right here. You know what I'm saying?
From law enforcement, first responders, and the public. We have been aggressively running down these tips and information. As you all know, that takes time, and we will continue to do so until every lead has been followed through on. This investigation is only a little more than 24 hours old. So I ask you to keep in mind that as I go through some of the specifics later. But at this point, currently, and this is another fact I want to be clear on, we do not assess at this point that anyone else involved in this attack except for Shamsuddin Jabbar, the subject.
So they saying he didn't have any accomplices in this attack. They believe it was a sole thing done by him from the pictures and videos they have obtained.
Already been briefed on. A little bit about what the FBI is doing. So we are surging people and assets to the area from across the region and across the nation. Special agents in multiple field offices across the country have been deployed and are assisting with potential aspects of this investigation and following up on every lead. Additional teams of special agents, professional staff, and victim specialists continue to arrive to provide more investigative power and assistance to the victims and their families. We've also forward deployed a number of our critical incident response group assets, including members of our hostage rescue team, special agent bomb technicians, and crisis management coordinators. In addition, we have deployed more evidence response technicians to continue to process the various scenes that we have. So far, we have received just over 400 tips from the public, and that information is being followed up on both here in New Orleans and across the country. Some of the tips are here in New Orleans, and there are other tips in other states across the country that we are following up on. The FBI team and our law enforcement partners here are also reviewing hundreds of hours of surveillance and other video from both the French Quarter
already,
and
Joey,
other
shout
locations.
out to you, man.
As for a timeline, at this point, investigators believe Jabbar picked up the rented F-150 in Houston, Texas on December 30th. He then drove from Houston.
So they giving y'all all the details. Make sure you paying attention. If you want to know, you most definitely got to pay attention, man. He giving us everything. This the FBI talking about what happened in New Orleans. The route he took, you know what I'm saying? How many people were injured? You know, all this good stuff is all coming out in this press release right here.
Houston to New Orleans on the evening of the 31st, and he posted several videos to an online platform proclaiming his support for ISIS. There were 5 videos posted on Jabbar's Facebook account, which are time-stamped beginning at 1:29 a.m. and the last at 3:02 a.m. In the first video, Jabbar explains he originally planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned the news headlines would not focus on the, quote, war between the believers and the disbelievers, end quote. Additionally, he stated he had joined ISIS before this summer. He also provided a will and testament. FBI and FBI, we have a couple different scenes at the location.
John say now she's throwing the west side.
We have released the scene at Bourbon Street. That scene has been released. We also have a scene off of Mandeville address where we're currently searching that scene right now. FBI and ATF agents have secured that house, and that location is being searched for potential evidence. On New Year's morning, Jabbar opened fire after ramming through a blocked-off area of Bourbon Street, used his truck as a weapon to run over the victims. Teams of specially trained victim specialists, again, as I said, are on the ground here in New Orleans, assisting survivors of the attacked and loved ones of the deceased. We do not believe the public is in any danger around any of these locations. 3 phones linked to Jabbar have been recovered, and digital media exploitation is a priority to see what is on the devices and determine if there are any other potential leads. Additionally, we have recovered 2 laptops and are currently reviewing them for any potential leads. Those laptops were
so they got 2 laptops from it.
Recovered at the Mandeville address. Evidence technicians will also be going over the F-150 truck Jabbar was driving. As you know, we recovered an ISIS flag from the back of the vehicle. Jabbar declared his support for the terrorist group on social media, as I stated before, as he made his way to New Orleans. FBI bomb technicians also recovered 2 IEDs in coolers, one from the cross-section of Bourbon and Orleans Street, and the second at an intersection approximately 2 blocks away. There were multiple reports of other devices. Those reports turned out to be misinformation or not actual functioning devices.
There were no other devices outside of the ones that they just told us about. So if you hear anything else about some devices, he's saying that that's fake news.
Are the only 2 devices that we've been able to recover that were functional. Both devices were rendered safe on scene. We did obtain surveillance footage showing Jabbar placing the devices where they were found. 2 other, as I said before, 2 other items of interest were determined not to be IEDs.
Let's go. My boy Humble Pie say Fort Bragg seems to have a good number of crazy people coming out of it. Let's talk about it.
About Jabbar. Jabbar himself was born in the United States and is a U.S. military veteran. We are looking in everything in his life. While we have interviewed many people who know Jabbar, we still need to talk to others. Whether you know Jabbar personally,
make sure y'all subscribing to the channel if you're new, man.
Or saw him in New Orleans,
we need 40 more
Texas,
people to have 18.8, guys.
You may not think you have relevant information, but what you know could tie in to one of our investigative leads.
Yeah, we know where he came from, Marquisa. This guy's from Beaumont/Houston, Texas. He's from Beaumont/Houston. That's where he came from.
Specifically, we want to talk to anyone who was in the French Quarter on New Year's Eve or early on New Year's Day. That includes people spotted near one of the 2 IEDs on Bourbon Street. The IED was inside a cooler, and many people stopped and looked at the cooler and then continued on their way. Let's be clear, again,
absolutely,
we do not believe
EJ, that's
at this
exactly
point
it. You're right.
These people are involved in this incident in any way. We want to speak to them as witnesses and want to know what they saw and when. I went down to the crime scene last night. It is very hard to put into words what it looked like and how difficult it was to see.
Marquisa, they 4 hours away from me too.
Anyone with information can call us at 1-800-CALL-FBI or send digital tips to fbi.gov/Bourbon Street attack.
Yeah, actually, Charity Fire, 2 of his girls divorced him. His first wife divorced him, and then the second one turned around and divorced him too. We already aware that his girls left.
Early this morning, evidence response teams finished their work at the crime scene. Bourbon Street has been
Holly Grove say, man, we got to look out for Mardi Gras. Yeah, all the women better keep their shirts on. Never know when you're going to have to run.
Turned over to the city of New Orleans. As you know, there's also an FBI investigation in Las Vegas. We are following up on all potential leads and not ruling everything out. However,
hey, Karen,
at this point, there is no definitive link between the attack here in New Orleans and the one in Las Vegas. And again, I'll preface everything with what I started with in the beginning, which was this is very early in an investigation like this.
What Lanice said, Lanice, give them the update of what we doing right now, Lanice. What are we covering? Because they keep coming in asking. Lanice, my moderator, Lanice, I'll let you know if you just now coming in what we're discussing right now.
Again, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of this tragedy and everyone impacted across the country. They remain at the heart of our investigation. I also, although I've only been on the ground here a short time, I also want to express a sincere appreciation for our partners here, which include the U.S. Attorney's Office, HSI, ATF, the New Orleans PD, the Louisiana State Police, the Governor's Office, and countless others.
Oh, hold on. Dang, why I do that? Let's exit out of there. All right. So, you know, they gave us everything they found on Buddy in New Orleans, right? So everybody is asking the same question about the connections, right? Could these potentially be like homeboys or something like that? You know, that got that planned this out. You know, they said it was premeditated. You know, everybody wants to know if these two guys are connected. You know, and I've been telling y'all a couple of the connections between them. But this situation right here, they go ahead and break it all the way down. The connections in between both guys, you know, being veterans, both guys having bums and rented trucks that they rented from the same place. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Check it out. They finna break it down. Let's go.
Bourbon Street in New Orleans and the Las Vegas Strip as these cities recover. New today, we're learning more about both suspects in the New Year's Day incidents and their connections to North Carolina. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Their connection to North Carolina, I think that's where the military base is that they both served at.
Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Gerald Owens. Here's the newest information we have tonight out of New Orleans. One of the victims on Bourbon Street was 25-year-old Matthew Tenedorio. His family says they begged him not to go out New Year's Eve. The FBI says the New Orleans attacker was 100% inspired by ISIS. President Biden says the suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, also had a remote detonator in his truck to set off explosives hidden in coolers.
We also know both men connected to the attack served at Fort Bragg, now Fort Liberty. We have team coverage tonight. WRAL's Sean Gallagher starts off with some specifics on their connections to North Carolina. Sean?
Here we go.
Yeah, Deborah, both of those men served in the Army and spent time here at Fort Liberty. Quite possibly just a coincidence, but far from the only thing the two men shared in common. So we know Shamsuddin Jabbar and Matthew Livelsberger served in the Army and both were stationed here at Fort Liberty. But law enforcement said there's no record they were in the same unit and that they did not overlap. But they both did serve in Afghanistan in 2009. Again, with no indication they were in the same unit, same location, or even in the same province. Now come the similarities in what happened. Both men used the car rental company Toro to rent their vehicles with attacks on New Year's Day. And both vehicles were electric, a Ford F-150 Lightning in New Orleans and a Tesla Cybertruck.
Similarities in the attacks, y'all. Rented vehicles through Toro, the app that you use to rent cars, and both drove electric vehicles. All right, they both served at Fort Bragg? I'm just saying.
In Las Vegas.
If these turn out to be simply similarities, very strange similarities to have. And so we're not prepared to rule in or rule out anything at this point.
Despite not having a motive yet in Las Vegas, investigators are not naive to what they're seeing in this case as it relates to Elon Musk and President-elect Donald Trump.
We know we have a bombing, absolutely, and it's a bombing that certainly has factors that raise concern. It's not lost on us that it's in front of of the Trump building, that it's a Tesla vehicle, but we don't have information at this point that definitively tells us or suggests it was because of this particular ideology or any of the reasoning behind it.
If there are any differences, it could be in the two men's level of service. Leibelsberger was a Green Beret, serving nearly 20 years, but investigators say his plan didn't match up.
Why come the veterans always go crazy, man? Y'all make sure y'all double tapping that screen, man. We got a goal of 300 on that like. We at 227. We need y'all to double tap that screen, man. Get the likes up. Y'all got them low. They need to get up. We approaching hour 3. We need 300 on the like, man. You know what I'm saying? We got 390 people. I know all of y'all ain't been here the whole time, so please double tap that screen or click those 3 dots and hit that thumbs up for your boy, if you don't mind.
The level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience. The components primarily consist of fireworks, mortars, aerial shells, and are all consumer fireworks.
And law enforcement noted the Cybertruck's structural stability likely made the blast go up rather than out, probably preventing more injuries from happening. Now, as far as a motive is concerned, the FBI is still waiting to get access to Leibelsberger's phone and his laptop, which could reveal more information about why he did this in the first place. In Fayetteville, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
As Sean mentioned, both men served in the military. Researchers have noticed that military members' ties to extremism is a growing trend. WRAL Investigates Sarah Kruger is live at Duke University. Sarah, you talked with counterterrorism experts. What did they say about this?
Gerald, one of those professors I talked to was here at Duke, the other at UNC, and they both want to stress that we're talking about a very small number of people here and a small number of acts. They offered some possible explanations.
An explosion in Las Vegas and an attack in New Orleans, both perpetrated, officials say, by men with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says it's part of a growing trend.
It does fit within that's that footage right there I've been telling y'all about, where they were showing the people narrowly escaping, being unalive because he was flying. Look at this.
Both perpetrated, officials say, by men with ties to the military.
Look.
UNC professor Navin Boppat says by men with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says by men with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says men with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says it's part of a growing trend.
It does fit with an empirical pattern that we're seeing since the late 2010s, that we're seeing increasing military participation in some of these groups. Again, it's not huge. It's not like it's an enormous amount. We're all
It's a growing trend.
One
the military.
second too long, they'd have been out of there.
Navin Boppat says it's part of a growing ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says it's part of with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says it's part of with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says,
look how lucky she was. Her right here, she was almost a goner. Boy, I'm telling y'all, man, that dude was not playing, man. Golly, man, she barely made it. She barely made it. Boy, one second hesitation, she'd have been out of there.
By men with ties to the military. UNC professor Navin Boppat says,
ooh, man, golly, that girl lucky, woo-wee. It's people who has military background doing that. It's sad to say, not speaking for everybody, just some. Extremely lucky. By the grace of God, that lady with red hair was blessed. Yes, she was. That girl was lucky because she wasn't running out the way, man. She got super lucky.
It's part of a growing trend.
It does fit with an empirical pattern that we're seeing since the late 2010s, that we're seeing increasing military participation in some of these groups. Again, it's not huge. It's not like it's an enormous amount. We're all veterans that are coming home doing this, but we are seeing more of it.
Locally and around the country, academics are exploring why. This report out of Maryland found that criminal extremism with a nexus to the United States military is a limited but possibly growing problem that is primarily centered in the veteran community.
Individuals
loyal to the military. They join the military because they want to be part of a cause that is bigger than themselves. Well, that's exactly what the terrorists appeal to in these ideologies.
David Chanzer is a professor at Duke and leads the Triangle Center on Terrorism and Homeland Security.
It is possible that people are, maybe more who have that mindset, who came to the military, are maybe ultimately more vulnerable to these kinds of ideas if they become disenchanted with kind of the ethos of the military. Certainly, if our million plus members of the United States Armed Forces, it's very rare for any one individual to be involved in this kind of activity.
In New Orleans,
it's a somber mood, but yet we're a resilient city.
Lifelong resident Tommy Boudreau, who worked for years doing restoration at police crime scenes, says they'll come back stronger.
My hope and prayers is that people will still continue to trust the overall security and safety of our city and don't power down to this idiot who chose to be radical.
The Super Bowl and Mardi Gras are just weeks away in New Orleans. Officials there say they will be ramping up security.
Hold on, let me see something. Y'all make sure y'all subscribing to the channel if you new, man. We almost at 18.8, man. We need less than 40 subscribers to be there. Make sure you subscribing if you new, man.
For those events. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Shout out to Christy. All right, hold up. On to the next one, okay? Shout out to my boy So Prolific for being a member for the last 3 months. So right there, they gave us, the comparison between the two. Desperately trying to find connections any way that we can to these guys. So we find out they served at the same military base. They both was veterans. They both used electronic cars. They both had explosives, and they both were well trained in explosive as well. Those are some of the ties that we have, the connections we have right now, but we still don't have a personal connection that says these two knew each other. Maybe they'll get it out of some of the electronics that they found from both situations, man. This is crazy. All right here it says exclusive video. Doorbell camera captured NOLA attacker outside an Airbnb rental. Remember, I told y'all this Airbnb mysteriously caught on fire right after he did what he did and was unalive, man. Shout out to Prolific for being a member for the last 3 months, man. Y'all make sure y'all getting them likes up. We approaching the 3rd hour. We need 300 on that like button. We only at 238. We got a goal for the night. Make sure you subscribing to the channel as well.
Tops linked to the driver have been found, and that FBI bomb technicians recovered 2 improvised explosive devices in the Bourbon Street area. And this is coming as we're getting some new surveillance video of the attack.
Absolutely,
it shows
Michael.
a harrowing moment here. Just before you see there are people barely getting out of the way of the truck. It's unbelievable, and so thankful that they were able to get out of the way as that truck sped through the French Quarter. CNN anchor Anderson Cooper is live on the scene in New Orleans. Anderson, what more details are you learning at this hour?
We have just, CNN has exclusively obtained.
Man, don't forget to accept my request so I can send you the videos. Okay, Marquisa, I thought I did accept it, but I'll go through there again and make sure I accept it.
And actually video of the terror attacker. This I want to show you. This is taken from a doorbell.
That looked like him right there.
Of on a street where the attacker, who you see there off to the right with the vehicle that he used in the attack. That is him arriving at and entering an Airbnb that he had rented about 2 miles from the Bourbon Street location, where he, according to law enforcement, conducted this terror attack. That is the vehicle that we know came. He was rented in Houston. He rented it on December 30th. The FBI said today at a press conference they had several hours ago. He then drove it New Year's Eve, and while driving made about 5 videos in which he spoke to camera. According to the FBI, they recounted a little bit about what he said. He said that he had, they were showing the timeline. He rented the truck, drove it to Houston, between 1 and 2 a.m. He's seen now on videos planting explosive devices. 2 explosive devices, according to the FBI, were found about in the area of the French Quarter. That initially they had thought maybe other people were planted. They have confirmed today. They said at this point they believe no one else was involved in the attack here in Bourbon Street on the ground, actually planting those explosive devices. They were both those devices were found and detonated safely. That is a picture of the actual vehicle, and you see it is the same vehicle that's in that security camera. This is after the attack. What you're not seeing there is that there's actually a person on the right-hand side, lower right-hand side of the screen, which we're not showing, a person who was injured. And, we are still now learning a lot more about those whose lives were lost, about the people who were wounded. 14 people now confirmed dead, as many as 35 sustained injuries. A number of them are still in the hospital. I want to play some of, let you hear from the FBI agent in charge of this operation, some of what they have found from the phones and laptops that they have.
Absolutely, Caramel, 14.
Hundreds of interviews that we've conducted so far, the social media review that we've done of his accounts, by my count now, the 5 devices we have, the 3 cell phones and the 2 laptops, been able to initially triage or.
You find out they got 3 laptops and 2 cell phones from Jabbar. The New Orleans dude.
Go through that, and there is just nothing to indicate through call records, through anything on those devices, through interviews, through anything in our systems that he was aided in this attack by anybody. And again, I have to caveat, like the governor said, this is 24 hours into it, and that could change.
His name, Jeremy, he looked black, but his name is like a crazy name with Jabbar in it. So I don't know his exact nationality. Don't get me the line. But he looked like a black guy, but then his name was like something else.
So that was the press conference the FBI gave about 2 hours ago or so. They are still eager for any information that anybody has out there about this person. They are trying to build a timeline of the radicalization of this person, the disintegration of this person.
All right, Bradley says he's Indian. Okay, bet.
According to family members, he had started to be erratic. And according to the FBI, Brianna, he had pledged allegiance or joined to, if one can actually join.
Shout out to Swamp Talk, man, for being a member for the last 3 months. Shout out to you, Swamp Talk.
Physical way, ISIS, or at least pledged allegiance earlier before the summer.
And Anderson, what a different scene behind you now. I'm just struck by that. There are so many people. There's just the din of the French Quarter with the reopening.
Yeah, it's interesting. About an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, a first-line band came down the street with city officials playing music. We ran out and watched it. It was actually a very moving scene. This extraordinary band playing music. The officials in the city wanted first to open Bourbon Street to religious leaders. So they've also had a lot of preachers here doing prayer circles. We've seen saying prayers and also music, which obviously is such a key part of New Orleans. Then they closed the street down a little bit. It's all cleaned up, and now they've opened it to the public. And as you see, it's not.
Man, I wouldn't go back on Bourbon Street for 5 years, let alone the next day. It's people already back out there partying, living it up like nothing never happened, man. Look, that was too close for comfort, man. Too many people lost their lives out there. I don't know if I'd have went on Bourbon Street today. I thought this guy is African, Arabian, the name. I don't know what I don't know what his ethnicity is. I don't know, but I just know he do have like an Indian name.
obviously incredibly crowded, but there are dozens and dozens of people wandering, walking up and down, just wanting to come here. Businesses have opened, the bars have opened. There's some music playing in a couple bars down the street. The frozen drinks that are like purple and pink, they are in the slushy machines going around. So it is very important for city officials. I talked to the superintendent of police just a short time ago. We ran a tour on the street to get this street back up and running, not from a business standpoint so much as just a statement about this city and the spirit of this city and the desire to have the city not be, on bended knee. The city has gone through so much with Katrina. I was here, it's crazy, Brianna, I was here almost 20 years ago when Bourbon Street first reopened after Hurricane Katrina. I remember it, city officials walked down the street, making it the official opening of it, and I remember the first bar that opened. So it's very strange to be back here 19 years later and see Bourbon Street once again reopening after a tragedy.
Yeah, wanting to come back from a tragedy. And we heard that from people.
That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. All right, speaking of New Orleans, man, you know what I'm saying? What would New Orleans be, man? Without our guy, make sure I got him. Yeah, I got him. Master P, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely walked the streets of New Orleans today, to show support for the people that were unalive. When did he book the Airbnb? I don't know, Penny. Here go Master P speaking on the situation.
We on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. We gonna bounce back, and it's nothing but love out here, showing that Bourbon Street is opening back up, and the love that's out here is incredible because this evil act that happened, they can't stop what God's plan is because God gonna make something even bigger.
Yeah, P most definitely stepped out, man. You know what I'm saying? To show support for his city, man, of New Orleans, man. Shout out to Master P for going out and reaching the people. As they show a picture of old buddy who unalived the people over there, man.
Young man that
as
I
well
have
as
been able
one of the
to
victims.
identify.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty good for Master P to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. Shout out to P for going out there and being hands-on with the people, man. We most definitely need y'all to keep double tapping that screen, man. Get the likes up. We got 371 people, ain't even hit 300 likes yet. Don't be a hater all your life, man. It's the new year, new season. Double tap that screen, get the likes up as we take a closer look at this situation that happened in Las Vegas as well as New Orleans, man. All right, so here it says New Orleans truck attack suspect likely acted alone, man. They keep on saying that he was by himself, man. Break it. This is all the updates from today, man. Let's go.
Describing the attacker as a lone wolf.
Oh, they took the video down. I wonder why they took that video down. It says unavailable. The news took the video down. That's crazy. All right, let's skip that one. Let's go here. All right, so his family, Jabar's family, man, I've never seen a news report get took down. Y'all see that? They took down a news report. It must have been too graphic or something. They said they took it down. That's crazy. First time I have ever, the whole time I've been doing the news, seen them take down a news report. First time, no cap. I guess that's part of YouTube's crackdown, where they take out videos that don't give what they supposed to give. Guess it must have been some clickbait. First time I ever seen them take a news report down. That's crazy. All right. So Jabbar family came out and spoke today, you know what I'm saying, on his person, you know, and how caught off guard they were of him doing what he did. Say they had nothing to do with it, and they are shocked by his actions. Let's check it out.
Family of the Bourbon Street terrorist speaks out.
I'm still shocked by the whole thing. Still doesn't seem like it actually happened. I just dropped my phone and crawled up to a phone.
I think that's his brother.
Meanwhile, revelers return to Bourbon Street saying they refuse to let evil win.
You can't let the terrorists win. You gotta live a life.
And Houston restaurants are standing for the victims, raising money for the families and survivors.
Something to be able to give back, you know, to the city, you know. We've been in New Orleans our whole life. We love New Orleans. This is our family as well. It's a neighboring state, but let's show them what Houston is about.
Weekend outlook and the timing of our Arctic blast coming up here in a couple of minutes.
KHOU 11 News at 10 starts right now. And up first tonight, new video and images show the Houston man who drove a truck into a crowd of people in New Orleans, carrying out the early part of his plan. The FBI confirming today he acted alone.
Yeah, and the images capture the moments before the attack that killed at least 14 people and hurt dozens more. Our partners at CNN obtained this Ring doorbell video that appears to show the suspect Shamsuddin Jabbar unloading his rented truck outside the Airbnb he was using. Tonight, investigators are there processing evidence. The FBI also releasing these new surveillance photos showing the suspect about an hour before he drove the truck through the crowd.
Now, hold on, let's go back real quick. My boy has some stress and worry on his brain. Look how old he look right here. Compared to this picture, look at all this gray, man. Yeah, man, he was stressed out. You know, they say stress brings on the gray hairs. Yeah, he was stressed out. Look at him, man. He like an old man. That's crazy.
Showing the suspect about an hour before he drove the truck through the crowd. They also included a picture of the cooler containing an improvised explosive device that he had planted near Bourbon and Orleans streets.
And all new at 10 o'clock, the suspect's younger brother says his family was completely blindsided and devastated by his actions. Jabbar's family lives in Beaumont, where he was born. Investigators say Jabbar, an Army veteran, had recently pledged allegiance to ISIS. His brother says he doesn't know how or why Jabbar became radicalized, but he never imagined he could be violent.
He grew out his beard and he became more modest in his dressing. Nobody's seen anything like this coming. This is completely out of character for him, you know, these actions. And they're also not any type of representation of what it means to be a Muslim.
Those sentiments were echoed by Trevor Neal, who met Jabbar when they both served in the Army about 13 years ago.
I was absolutely floored. I buckled up and I couldn't talk for 20, 30 seconds. I was just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it's very unfortunate that he took that path. But, you know, I can only speak for the 2011 version of Sham, which was, you know, he's a normal individual.
We call him Jabbar. He just called him Sham. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen. We need 50 more people on that like, man. Subscribe to the channel if you new. We on the road to 19K. We almost at 18.8, man. Every subscribe matters, so subscribe. 24 more people subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely get those likes up as well. Steph Win, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be back on Diddy, Saturday night. Free Diddy. Love the channel, fam. Already, Steph, appreciate you for that 5, man. First super chat of the night, man. Shout out to you.
Flags, great soldier, phenomenal friend.
Bourbon Street is back open for business. This is a live look in New Orleans, courtesy of EarthCam. We've seen armed military police that you see there and other members of law enforcement on the street corner.
Matt Doherty is in New Orleans tonight and joins us live from the French Quarter after speaking with people just a day after the attack.
Matt, what's the mood been like out there today?
Well, it's a mixture of somberness and
I
a
would
little
most
bit of
definitely not
happiness
be
that
out
things
there
appear to be
tonight.
getting back to normal. But I want to show you some of the security presence that we're dealing with right now. So they've got police units and other law enforcement vehicles stationed here at the top of Canal Street and Bourbon Street. So as you can tell, nobody's going to be getting in anytime soon. Walk with me a little bit this way. And this is where you're going to see the memorial that's been set up.
They got
It's
a
been growing
memorial
over the
out there
last
for
day
the
or
victims,
so,
guys.
honoring
Hey,
those
Vino,
14
what's up,
victims
Percy?
who died on New Year's Day. This is all while people are coming to Bourbon Street as the city tries to get back to normal. One day after tragedy shot through the heart.
There go those choppers. Dang, what's her name? Dang, I done forgot that fast. AJ. There go those choppers AJ said she been seeing flying around that way all day today. No different. They know they know how to come together already.
The French Quarter, New Orleans is trying to return to normal. Sunshine lit the path down Bourbon Street when it reopened this afternoon as visitors slowly started to return. And the bands began to play.
The city's been built, the state's been built on a mixture of tragedy and revelation and happiness. I mean, the two go kind of hand in hand.
But one look around is all it took to see that in 24 hours everything had changed. Officers are on every corner and on the street. Seemingly impenetrable blockades have popped up overnight.
I was shocked when I woke up.
Connie and her husband Todd are visiting from Chicago. They got back to their hotel about an hour before everythin happened yesterday.
You can't let the terrorists win. You gotta keep on living life.
At 3:15 a.m. on New Year's Day, 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar began his path of death at the intersection of...
He tripped out. Look at that law car right there. He sweared right in front of the police to go do what he was finna do, man. He just said, forget it. Poof.
Canal and Bourbon Streets. Tonight, the 14 people he killed are represented by the same number of yellow roses and wooden crosses at this growing memorial against a brick wall. It's where much of the dancing on Bourbon Street has been replaced with tears.
Oh, we were right here, like just before.
All right, so Letitia Taylor says, were you aware these guys served in Afghanistan together and trained in Fort Bragg together? Absolutely. We've been talking about the connections all night, Letitia. Thank you for that information, though. But you know, we already on top of it. This is Everything News. Most definitely going to bring up everything. Were you aware that these guys most definitely were experienced in explosives from their military background? They knew how to work explosive. Both of them were like experts with explosives.
Albert Fuentes is from Baytown. He came to New Orleans with a few of his fellow Navy sailors to celebrate New Year's Eve. He says the fact that Jabbar is a veteran makes it even harder to understand.
I don't really have words to describe what I feel. I think it's the best thing. The best way I can put it is feel a little upset, a little ashamed, but this kind of goes to show that, like,
absolutely, the Green Beret. You're exactly right.
Tonight, New Orleans is trying to move forward, forgetting never, taking their first steps toward dancing again, not because they want to, but because they say they have to.
All right, so John say, you guys really think there's a connection? Do any of you think they had discussed it and planned these two attacks together? Honestly asking, John, I'm gonna say this. Man, it's a big coincidence that these guys served at the same spot. You know what I'm saying? Committed the same kind of act using rental cars on the same day. You know what I'm saying? Hours separate from each other, man. It got to be something going on now, bro. They didn't, man, often in life, people don't go crazy at the same time. You know, I haven't seen it yet, but hey, it could most definitely be a connection. And then again, it could just be coincidence. But at the same time, you know, I don't knock nobody for how they feel. I know how I feel. I feel like it's a strong possibility that these two situations are connected. You may think different, but I'm not gonna bash you for how you feel, and you shouldn't bash nobody else for how they feel. It's all based off opinions. Yeah, but man, a lot of people within the Marines all serve at the same time, same spot. When the general commander decides to move and want in on an area, John. But at the same time, bro, how many people go crazy at exactly the same time and commit the same kind of crime on the same day? Ask yourself that.
Now, throughout the day and tonight, we've seen people come here to this memorial to bring flowers, to pray. Some people are crying, and as far as we know, they're total strangers to the victims. Back to you.
All in unison, coming together for the city and for the victims. Matt Doherty tonight, thank you. And online right now, more on what we've learned about the suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, records of his troubled relationships and businesses. That's all on KHOU.com.
All right, switch.
All right, you know what I'm saying? All right. Move past that one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody keep on saying that this dude acted alone, but just please believe that in each one of these clips that I play is most definitely new information from channel to channel to channel. You get a piece here, you get a piece there. So you got to be observant in it. You got to be observant of what you're taking in. You understand? I'm just saying though. Let's move on to NBC. See what kind of connections they got, if any, and why they keep on saying that the dude in New Orleans acted alone.
Whether the attacker had help, the answer we're now told is no, according to authorities in New Orleans, who say Army veteran Shamsuddin Jabbar carried out the grisly attack alone, killing 14 New Year's revelers on the city's famed Bourbon Street. Today, Bourbon Street was reopened to the public. While not far away, tens of thousands descended on the Superdome to witness college football's Sugar Bowl.
Look at all those people, and they postponed that game for a day. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to happen yesterday, but the attacks happened, so then they came back the next day. I think they should have waited 3 days, a week or something.
Under the shadow of a massive police presence. Investigators say they have now tracked Jabbar's movements from Texas to New Orleans beginning on December 30th. And are now revealing more about video postings.
And you know what's crazy? That's about the same. If I'm not mistaken, old dude started his descent to Las Vegas around the same time that Jabbar started his descent to New Orleans.
Social media, in which he pledged his support for ISIS, and in another explained why he apparently changed his choice of targets. All this as investigators looking into the deadly New Year's car bombing in Las Vegas say very strange similarities give them more reason to wonder if there could be a link between the attacks, from the military background of the drivers to the cars they drove. But let's start in New Orleans. And Tom Yamas. Tom, how is the investigation proceeding so far?
Good evening, Lester. Well, the FBI has now given Bourbon Street back to the city of New Orleans, which has reopened, as you mentioned, but it looks much different. They've now added this hydraulic steel ramp, which will prevent vehicles from getting onto Bourbon Street. They've also added these barriers to the side.
And I do believe that's what it said, Ballin. That's what made me say that. He said December 30th, they both took off. I do believe. If my memory serves me correctly, that's exactly what we heard from that other clip earlier. Around that time, around the 30th or the 31st, they both made their descent from the place they was at to the locations where they did what they did. Just one day, I would have flown my kids home if the game goes on 18. I'm just saying. Hey, what's up, Nikki? They both did. All right, Louita, straight up.
Sidewalk. Remember, the terrorists jumped the curb and came through the sidewalk onto Bourbon Street. If these precautions were in place on New Year's Eve...
Hey, check this out. We need 40 more on that like button, man. We need 40 more people to double tap their screen or click those 3 dots. Hit that like, man. We trying to hit 300 on the like, man. Hit the like button if you in the building. Everybody here haven't been here the whole time, so make sure you double tapping that screen or clicking those 3 dots, hitting that thumbs up for your boy. Let's get the likes to 300, man. I'm giving y'all everything.
that terrorists likely would not have gotten access. All of this as a makeshift memorial is now being put up here on Bourbon Street as the city insists it is safe for residents and for visitors.
Keep on subscribing.
Tonight, this new video showing the high-speed terror attack in the early hours of New Year's Day.
We gotta wait for I need EMS to get down Bourbon now.
People celebrating on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, scrambling to dodge that white pickup truck the FBI says was driven by 42-year-old Texas-born Shamsuddin Jabbar. He died after crashing into a crane and getting into a shootout with police. This photo showing the truck and a black wheelchair belonging to Jeremy Senke, who was knocked to the ground.
Cops were looking at me. And I knew at this time that they were looking at me because I was still.
This is one of the victims that were in the hospital. That's in the hospital, y'all. He was already confined to a wheelchair before he got ran over. You know what I'm saying? He basically tells his story of what happened to him and how he managed to get hit by old dude in that truck, man. We need less than 30 more people, man. Y'all get the lights up for your boy. It's 445 people in the building. We need 300 on that light. Double tap that screen. Subscribe to the channel, man. We need like 16 more people, you know, to subscribe to be at 18.8K on our quest to 19K, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, man. What is we doing?
Still alive, and they weren't worried. They knew I was still alive, so I'm screaming, and finally somebody came over to me and just looked at me and said, "Listen, we know you're hurt, but you're alive." That's what they said to me, "You're alive."
But his legs were broken, and tonight he's still in shock over the killings.
I'm not up against anybody like that. I love everybody. I love everybody, and I just can't believe that what happened.
14 people killed in the attack, dozens more injured and hospitalized. University Medical Center, New Orleans, treating the most critically wounded.
We had a mix of both blunt and penetrating trauma. We had patients that were injured from the vehicle going down the street, as well as some with gunshot injuries.
Authorities now searching Jabbar's Houston home, as well as a residence where he stayed in New Orleans, locating 3 cell phones and 2 laptops. And tonight, piecing together more information about the man who had an ISIS flag on the truck he used in the attack. We now know he was an Army veteran who at one point deployed to Afghanistan, worked as a realtor, property manager, and beginning in 2021, an employee at financial consulting firm Deloitte. But also, more recently, someone who posted videos expressing his desire to kill and his inspiration from ISIS. 5 videos the FBI says posted to Facebook in the moments before his deadly rampage.
In the first video, Jabbar explains he originally planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned the news headlines would not focus on...
Man, this is crazy. He wanted to take out his baby mama and his kids, but decided not to because he felt like the news wasn't gonna broadcast it right. He wanted a certain light to be shined on his situation that they wasn't gonna shine. All right, we got a lot of people out here that believes that these guys are suffering from MK Ultra. Could be. Who am I to tell you wrong, man? I just know it's crazy, man.
The quote, war between the believers and the disbelievers.
In this YouTube video posted 4 years ago, Jabbar is seen promoting himself as a trustworthy real estate agent because of his time in the military.
I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and
financially, going through a divorce several years ago. According to public records obtained by NBC News, he lost $28,000 with his business in 2021, owed $16,000 in credit card debt, and wrote to a divorce lawyer in 2022 saying, "I cannot afford the house payment. It is past due in excess of $27,000 and in danger of foreclosure if we delay settling the divorce." According to family members who spoke to the New York Times, Jabbar was raised Christian but converted to Islam and recently had been barred by...
John, you tripped out talking about somebody being well endowed, man. We ain't like that over here, man. Wrong channel for that. You know what I'm saying? Take your 5-minute time out. Come back better, man. Don't be putting stuff like that in my chat.
His ex-wife from spending time with their 2 daughters after acting erratically. The FBI says Jabbar claimed to have joined ISIS before the summer of 2024.
This was an act of terrorism. It was premeditated and an evil act.
The FBI, which initially said it did not believe Jabbar was solely responsible for the Bourbon Street attack, now says he appears to have acted alone, renting the pickup truck on December 30th and driving from Texas to New Orleans on the 31st.
We do not assess.
Can we get, see, on the 31st? He was on the 31st. Old dude was on, I think he left on the 31st too, man. That's crazy. It's a lot of similarities, y'all, for real. Shout out to Miss T, man. You know what I'm saying, for being a member for the last 3 months. Shout out to you, girl. We need 9 more people on that like, man. Double tap that screen.
At this point, that anyone else involved in this attack is involved in this attack except for Shamsuddin Jabbar.
According to the FBI, Jabbar also placed 2 explosive devices in coolers near the scene of the attack, one at the cross-section of Bourbon and Orleans Street, the other at an intersection 2 blocks away. 2 senior law enforcement officials say both devices contained nails inside of them and had receivers for remote detonation.
We did obtain surveillance footage showing Jabbar placing the devices where they were found.
And authorities are investigating a fire at the New Orleans house where Jabbar is believed to have stayed, saying it started after Jabbar was killed. Its cause unclear.
She was a loving, caring person. She loved her son.
Jessica Carvajal now among those in mourning. Her sister, Nicole Perez, killed in the attack. She leaves behind a 5-year-old boy named Melvin.
Do you remember the last thing you guys said to each other by any chance?
She texted me at 12 o'clock at night telling me, Happy New Year, sis, I love you so much. And I told her I love you too. And I didn't know that was going to be her last text message.
In New Orleans today, Bourbon Street reopened ahead of the Sugar Bowl. The college football game delayed a day because of the attack.
We have brought in heavy trucks.
The police superintendent assuring people her city and their iconic street are safe.
And Tom, there's some new images tonight related to the attack there on Bourbon Street. What can you tell us?
That's right, Lester. The FBI releasing tonight some chilling new images. They show the terrorist walking through Bourbon Street as he was planting those
Man, that dude look like he about 80 years old, man, right here in these pictures.
Explosive devices, and we're also seeing for the first time the coolers that the terrorist was hiding those pipe bombs in. The FBI says they were filled with nails. If they would have exploded, likely several more people would have died. Lester?
Even some police officials are noting the uncanny similarities between the assailant in New Orleans and the one in Las Vegas, but they say it does not appear the attacks are related. Tom Witter joins us now. Tom, what more do we know?
Lester, Norman, let's watch the profanity in the chat, man. Y'all know YouTube is very sensitive, man. Misspell your cuss words.
Besides the obvious that these 2 incidents occurred on the same day, the 2 used the same car rental service. They were explosives that were either used or...
Man, what's going on with his face right here? His eyes is extremely red. He look crazy. Oh, my God. Man, what's going on with his eyes? Y'all see that? That's crazy. This is the old dude. This is dude in New Orleans. This is dude in Las Vegas. Look at his eyes. I don't know what happened to him. What's up, It's Toya? Shout out to you, man. Yeah, he look crazy right here. Bro looks geek, or like he just came out of a gas chamber. Haven't seen that pic of him yet. That's crazy. Possessed look like. Man, that's stole right there, man. Look at his eyes. Some most definitely was going on that day, whatever day he took that picture. Them ain't no stoned eyes either. That's some other stuff. Wow, man. Yeah, he looked like somebody that'll do something like that in that picture. Lord have mercy. Yeah, he looked like he tried to take his eyes out or something.
Attempted to be used.
That's crazy, y'all. Wow. What is going on with his face? It kind of looks swole. Look at this jaw. Look at that jaw. I wonder what happened to him. That's dope.
They both served in the Army. They both were at Fort Liberty at some point. But it's not yet clear they were there at the same time. And authorities are quick to mention tonight these coincidences, but also clearly saying they haven't found any definitive links and strongly noting the investigations are still in their early stages. Big picture, Lester, the type of attack we saw in New Orleans, a single person fueling their own radicalization and planning, is the concern law enforcement continues to have right now.
Tom Winter, thank you. We're also learning more names of those killed in the New Orleans terror attack. Tonight, we honor them, many of them so young, just taking a break to ring in the new year. An aspiring nurse, a college student, a single mom, among the 14 people celebrating the new year when their lives were stolen by what authorities say was an ISIS-inspired terrorist. 27-year-old Tiger Besh grew up in Louisiana and played football at Princeton. Tonight, I spoke to his mom and brother. Tell me what it's been like to be Tiger's mom for all these years.
He's been a shining star, a bright boy, a clever boy.
He was my role model, my whole family's role model, our inspiration, and now everything we'll do will be for him and through him.
Nikira Dado was just 18 and dreamed of becoming a nurse. Her mom posting, "When your parents say don't go anywhere, please listen to them. I lost my baby. Just pray for me and my family." 21-year-old Hubert Gothrow's mom saying he would give anyone everything. Hubert's last text to his family came just after midnight. He wrote, "I love you." Nicole Perez was a single mom. She didn't have a car, so she would walk to work to provide for her 5-year-old son. She told friends she was excited about New Year's Eve in the French Quarter. Drew Dauphin recently graduated from Auburn University. His family saying he could light up a room and that they're suffering more than anyone can imagine. 18-year-old Kareem Badawi just finished his first semester at the University of Alabama. Kareem was 6'5", but his dad saying he still always called his youngest the baby. Reggie Hunter adored his 11 and 1-year-old sons. His cousin telling us Reggie was a little guy with a big heart who didn't deserve this. And Matthew Tenedorio had just had dinner with his parents before he went out to ring in the new year.
25 years old, just starting life, had the job of his dreams. Our hearts go to all the other families that lost their loved ones too. We just grieving right now.
Promising lives cut short tonight. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about...
Real sad, man. Found out about the explosives, seen new pictures, and even found out about some of the families, man. That's crazy, man. Prayers for them victims. For real, for real. Oh, man, this is crazy, man. A little bit, it says 14 unalive, 35 wounded in New Orleans attack. A little bit more on Jabbar, man. They is trying to find out what went wrong with these guys.
Of what may have made him turn, because you look at like the real estate video, you had this real estate video from 2020, looks like a normal guy. Have you figured out yet when that started to turn?
That has been the big question for us, trying to understand what that turning point was. You know, as you said, like here's a guy in the army, gets deployed to Afghanistan, earns himself a global war on terrorism service medal in that, you know, and comes out of the military and essentially goes on to a really professional career in real estate. He's talking about cryptocurrency and investing. He, and then ends up in a 6-figure job at the Deloitte consulting firm where he was working up until this New Year's Day. That what we were hearing from talking to people, talking to neighbors, talking to his family, was there was a turning point in recent months where they noticed him starting to act more erratically. Some dangerous behavior, so dangerous that his ex-wife had moved to try and limit his contact with their daughter.
All right, so we find out he was going crazy already. Said he was showing erratic behavior, man. So he was so far off the edge that his wife moved. You know what I'm saying? Away from him. You know, must have been pretty tense, man. And that's probably why he was looking to unalive his family, man. Very sad. Shout out to you, Unapologetic. I see you.
And, and friends also saw him as, and neighbors saw him as someone who growing more isolated, right? He wasn't showing up at the nearby mosque where a lot of local Muslim families were going, and he was staying a lot of his time just inside the home, which raises the big question: what's going on behind those closed doors? Where is he getting his information about his faith? What is he turning to where there might be some indication of radicalization going on?
Mike, when you say dangerous behavior and that people were, family members were concerned, did they elaborate any more or any specifics?
5 more subscribers will be at 18.
I mean, there was just talk of, how he had started to talk. They used the word acting crazy, and he was doing more things that expressed in their mind a more fervent belief in his faith, things to do with his hair and how he was acting. And all of those things combined was enough for them to feel like he was being dangerous, being unsafe, wasn't desired for him to be around his children anymore. His children were 20 years old and 15 years old, his daughters.
Penny said that man don't look Indian. You know what I'm saying? Well, he must be mixed then, because that name most definitely sound Indian. Yup. 3 more subscribers, man. We'll be at 18.8. Somebody's look at these haters that unsubscribe. They don't want to see us go up, y'all. They try to make us go down with their good hating selves. 5 more subscribers, man. We'll be at 18.8.
And so it was a big enough concern that his activity at that point was enough to try and push him away.
John, what do you make of this? What Mike's found out about this man, and is it possible that family and friends didn't know, thought something strange was happening with him, but had no idea that he was being radicalized?
Shout out to my boy Big Bag for being a member for 3 months. Say he in this thing already. Shout out to you, my guy.
Well, I think it's possible they didn't know.
We need 3 more subscribers, guys.
I think the New York Times story today
1 more subscriber.
was that here was a man who was starting to become overwhelmed also with some of his personal financial problems and the problems he'd had with his marriages. And then, the world that he built that you described earlier, Deloitte and 6-figure salaries and all of those kind of things, started to collapse around it. So whatever else was going on, and I don't know about the radicalization part, he was also under just sort of the real world pressures that we're all familiar with that can cause people to become psychologically disturbed at first and then possibly deranged. So I think there's 2 elements that are possibly at work here. Both the practical...
This dude said, stop wasting your time, man. Go to sleep. America is messed up. Bro, I'm most definitely not a waste of time. We just bringing awareness to the people. We'll see you later.
The life problems that he was facing, and then the radicalization issue.
Do you think, John, that our government, that the FBI has a hold on, these homegrown terrorists, radicalization? I mean, is there more of this than we realize? Because it seemed like for a while, at least to me, you didn't hear about this as much, and now all of a sudden we've got this situation in New Orleans. We don't know exactly what happened in Vegas, but could be the same kind of thing. I mean, is this happening more than we realize, John?
Well, I don't think necessarily. The way I read the situation in Vegas, and of course, eventually we're going to want to know more about the background of this individual and what kinds of problems he might have been facing that would cause him to want to commit suicide. It's clearly a suicide, but we...
If you know anybody out there trying to inflict harm to themselves, make sure you encourage them to reach out to a hotline and most definitely tell them that ain't the way to go. This show is for educational purposes only. Y'all know, for education and research purposes.
People want to know what the motivation was, and we don't at this point. And I think same with the situation in New Orleans. At the moment, I would not read this as necessarily an indication that we have some kind of generalized phenomenon of domestic terrorism in the United States. There have been incidents, but I think we have to keep them in perspective.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com.
Still, we looking for the connections, y'all. They still trying to connect the dots when it comes to this situation. It says new details released about the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion suspect. They give us a little insight into him, like we've been watching them give us a lot of insight into Jabbar. Check this one out.
The FBI says it does not believe the New Orleans attack is connected to the explosion outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas yesterday.
That, despite the fact that
they saying that the FBI says they don't believe it's a connection. They don't believe that these two plotted this together. They believe that it was purely a coincidence, says the FBI.
Are multiple similarities between the two men believed responsible. And now it is News reporter Tim Caputo is live in Las Vegas to tell us what he has learned about the suspect there. Tim.
Yeah, we've learned an awful lot about the suspect over the last 30 hours. You see behind me, though, the hotel seemingly back to normal at this point. Las Vegas police no longer blocking the valet entrance. They're still here. You could actually see the flashing lights here behind me. But those investigators, boy, they have been busy for the last day. They seemingly know every single thing about this suspect, especially what he's done over the course of the last week, except the one thing everyone wants to know. Why would he do this? Matthew Livelsberger was a master sergeant in the elite Green Berets, a highly decorated active-duty Army soldier who's now accused of taking his own life and blowing up a rented Cybertruck in front of the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas Wednesday morning. Police found his passport, military ID, wallet, and all sorts of other personal items in the burned-out Tesla truck, which he also allegedly filled with fireworks, gas cans, and other fuel. Investigators don't know how it was detonated, but say whatever it was that blew up seemed rudimentary.
The level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience.
Las Vegas police also recovered 2 guns from inside the Cybertruck, both badly damaged from the fire. The Colorado man who owns the Tesla truck said Livelsberger told him he was renting it to go camping in the Grand Canyon, but clearly never went there. In fact, because charging stations track information, police know the exact route he took from Denver to Las Vegas. But they still don't know what drove him to set off the explosion or whether he has any ties to terrorist groups.
Like I said, we're running down investigative leads around the world. No information that we're aware of right now that connects this individual to any terrorist organization around the world. But that's obviously the thrust of the investigation, is ruling out that there's any sort of, terrorism nexus and then again, getting at what the ideology is.
I asked the sheriff about the many striking similarities between Livelsberger and the suspect in the New Orleans terrorist attack, like how they were both at the Army base formerly known as Fort Bragg, they both served in Afghanistan, and both used the Turo app to rent the cars used to carry out the attacks, which happened within hours of each other.
It's an interesting thing during these kinds of investigations that if these turn out to be simply similarities, very strange similarities to have. And so we're not prepared to rule in or rule out anything at this point.
Amazingly, no one else was seriously hurt, even that person on the far right of your screen standing next to their luggage.
We're looking directly into Trump Tower from our room, and then I saw there was a second explosion. So I heard one and then saw the other one actually happen. And it was like fireworks were shooting off.
Even the outside of the Cybertruck barely has a dent, says most of the explosion went up and not out. As repairs are underway at the tower today, people are quick to point out you barely can tell anything happened here.
Almost no damage. The windows didn't even break out, so it's very light.
Yeah, I was shocked that even the chandeliers, the glass in the chandeliers weren't even damaged.
And officials want to make it clear there's no ongoing threat. They believe this man acted alone. Obviously, the FBI has a lot of investigating still left to do. They're trying to figure out exactly what happened on the course of the way here. They say they didn't see him with anyone else while driving here from Colorado. We're actually also told that Tesla officials are on their way to Las Vegas right now to try to elicit more information from that very tech-savvy Cybertruck itself, hopefully getting them closer to figuring out a motive in this case. We're live in Las Vegas. Tim Caputo, ABC 7 Eyewitness.
So they give us a little bit more insight, on Matthew. But wait. There's more.
The facts as we know them in Las Vegas make absolutely no sense. Former FBI Special Agent Michael Harrigan, former FBI Assistant Director for New York, Louis Scholero is with us. Gentlemen, appreciate it. Michael, start with you. This one seems just bizarre on its face because nothing adds up. Is there a way to make this fact pattern that we've been told fit something that's real?
Well, when you look at this, there's a lot of symbolism here. You have the Trump Hotel. It could or could not be. It may not be an issue at all here. Maybe in his mind it had something to do with some statement he was trying to make. But, you know, it looks to me, from what I can see from the news reports, that this is a suicide. This is a combat veteran.
If you know anybody out there suffering, you know, from any form of mental illness that may want to hurt themselves, make sure, you know what I'm saying, you encourage them to get some form of help, reach out to a hotline. Unaliving yourself is never the answer. This show is for educational, research purposes, you know what I'm saying? We trying to educate the people, man.
He's highly decorated. He had 2 Valor Awards for action in combat, in addition to several other Bronze Stars for service.
What's up with it?
So he was in combat. He had combat experience, and it's unknown what trauma he suffered. But, you know, more important here is, why did he pick the Trump Hotel for a suicide such as this, if it was as it appears to be? And why the explosives if he shot himself in the head already and was already deceased, supposedly at the time the explosives detonated? So
he must have set it off. You know what I'm saying? He must have pressed the button and then unalived himself. Because how could all this stuff detonate and he was already gone? That tells me it must have been something like maybe on a timer, or he knew how long he had when he pressed the button to ignite whatever was going on, and he unalived himself right before it.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions that hopefully will come out in the next few days here.
Absolutely,
yeah,
Caramel.
So much of things coming out, right, is trusting where it's coming from. And the FBI has a long history of being certain before they speak. That seems to have changed. Maybe it's for ideological reasons. Maybe it's just incompetency issues. It's unclear. But yesterday morning, about 7 o'clock in the morning, people who were up that early after New Year's woke up to news of a car driving through the French Quarter and killing, at the time, 10 people. Later became 15 people. And the special agent or assistant special agent in charge in New Orleans got in front of television cameras at that time and said this.
This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found. And we are working on confirming if this is a viable device or not. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we're asking everyone to stay away from Bourbon Street, specifically from Canal Street to St. Anne. That is my ask. Once again, stay away from Bourbon Street, Canal Street, all the way to St. Anne until we can figure out what is going on.
Louis, can you blame people who, after hearing that, say, and I'll say this with great reverence for the FBI, that the Bureau is broken?
You know, Leila, I couldn't agree more, just in terms of, obviously we recognize the public's need for information. But
these are 2 former FBI agents, y'all. They giving their assessment of the situation in Las Vegas as well as New York. If you're new over here, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you double tap in that screen as well. That's how you hit the like button, or you can simply click those 3 dots, hit the thumbs up. These 2 former FBI agents are giving their assessments on both situations.
There's a huge danger in speaking before you have your facts together. And I think yesterday morning that was evident. The statement should have read, it's under investigation right now. We're pursuing our leads, and we'll make a more definitive statement once we have that in mind. But to come out that early and to advise that it perhaps was not an act of terrorism, I can't defend that. You know, all these cases, as you know, depend on really very detailed and meticulous investigation, and that needs to unfold. But to be able to make a statement like that really could undermine any potential prosecution if, in fact, other perpetrators are found. So I think that was a huge mistake.
I always believe in incompetence over conspiracy because people just aren't that good enough to be conspirators normally, or aren't that smart enough. But when you see over 4 years the focus of the FBI switch in so many ways to go into school board meetings rather than focusing on terrorism to becoming so focused on social justice versus law enforcement. I'm wondering, Louis, can you help but see people, you said you couldn't agree more when I said the Bureau's broken. What's broken?
Well, I think as President-elect Trump, is stating that there is a need for change. I don't think there's any question about that. The Bureau does need to focus on really where the priorities lie. Today's events or yesterday's events clearly demonstrate that. So I do think that somebody coming in that understands the process, there's no greater public responsibility than to protect the public. And that's where the focus needs to be.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com.
So those two, you know what I'm saying, basically giving their insight. Now, within that clip, we saw that when the reports first came out, the lady said, man, we don't believe this to be an act of terror. Then we find out that dude pledges allegiance to ISIS, this, that, and the third, in which they start calling it an act of terror. The FBI dude say, hey, man, you know what I'm saying, that could really mess up some things with us saying that, because if there were other people involved, it kind of messed up the prosecution. Now, we have come to find out from the earlier videos that they saying that each one of those people acted alone. There were no other people involved. The whole situation crazy, but there are a lot of connections going on with these dudes, man. For real, it's crazy, man. Wouldn't have never thought anything like this to ever happen, but man, look, it most definitely did. They also give us another look at what took place in New Orleans as well. I mean, in New Orleans, in the moments of the attack. Check this out.
Went out that said there were 3 men and a woman who may have been caught on camera actually placing explosives here in New Orleans. Today, this assistant director said, we investigated, figured out that they were actually just bystanders, that they were not people helping with the attack. But that was something else that scared people. I want to show you guys, too, there's some new photos that just came out within the last hour or so. These are real surveillance photos that we have now that actually show the suspect on surveillance video. They're stills, but of him in New Orleans. He's sort of dressed up. There you go.
Look
it's
like
interesting to see this angle of him. He's in jeans and he's got this kind of like nice coat on. And they actually show him walking around, and then he puts an IED, we learned today, into a cooler. We've got a picture of the cooler too. And they say that, well, there it is, the cooler. What they believe now is he's the only one who was placing explosives. But Aaron, I want to go to you though, because I get what Bobby's saying, that the investigation changes and as they learn more, but it seemed like a big change from telling everyone that there were people who helped him, today saying he definitely acted alone. I mean, do you think, Aaron, we could get another narrative,
Now we got somebody down there with their conspiracy saying, look, this is a completely different person than the other person they've been showing. I think it's the same person, man. I think he just stressed out, man. All that losing his wife, being in debt, just caught up with him, man. He went crazy.
Change tomorrow?
Well, I think Bobby's nailing it on the head. Investigations are fluid. I think as more information gets released, we're going to find out more about these both these individuals, with the Tesla in Vegas.
What's up, boss lady?
Obviously with the attacker on Bourbon Street. But I got to tell you, Brian, my concern isn't about the investigation. That's not what's getting my heart pumping here. My concern is about the failure in this system, and the attack in New Orleans and Vegas highlight, in my opinion, some very critical flaws in America's overall counter-terror strategy. And our system I don't believe is designed to address these evolving threats that we're seeing today. And I think that there are serious problems throughout the federal agencies, including the FBI. We just saw where Trump almost get his head shot off. And I think that there's some competing priorities with these federal agencies that are not the best priorities that are going to focus on protecting Americans, including these DEI initiatives. I think it's too much, and I think it's distracting from the primary mission. And I think the federal government needs to get back to what they were mandated to do, which is focus only on protecting the American people. And with all due respect to Bobby, that woman came out. She was the deputy SAC or the SAC of that office. And she came out and gave some very bad information at a very critical time.
All right, so we got Javier says, I say he did it. I said he did do this alone, but was paid by someone else. Someone wants to make as much noise as they possibly can. All right, Javier, and you most definitely could be right. You said led by someone else. Okay, these right wings are idiots. Okay, allegedly. I done got sleepy guys. You guys be safe and make sure y'all say y'all prayers. Okay, Marquisa, sweet dreams. I'll let you on the next one. Remember, I won't be back until Saturday morning at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, you know, check in with me.
She shouldn't have been speaking. I'm glad they did pull the plug on her. But in my opinion, Brian, these attacks were preventable. Both of them. The truck ramming, the Tesla explosion, all this could have been stopped. And that's how you...
He said they glad, he say they glad they stopped this lady from speaking because she could have messed up everything. You know, she basically said she felt like it wasn't an act of terror. He said, man, I'm glad they got her up out of there.
With terrorism, it's about better intelligence and better intelligence coordination and proactive measures. I don't care about the investigation. No one does that better than Bobby and his team. I'm about solutions. And right now, America's not geared to be able to deal with an emerging terror threat. These guys, it's only going to get worse from here, Brian. This is where we're at right now. And there needs to be a lot of different creative solutions to start looking at how we get back on track with protecting America and putting together a whole new way of dealing with this. And it might include creating an entire new pure domestic counterterror agency here in the United States, specifically to deal with these emerging threats. That's how we do it in Israel. And we still can't stop them all, but we stop thousands of them a year. And that's where I'm at with this right now.
Yeah, and I get the point Bobby made that people make mistakes, but I mean, the fact she said, and this was the first big press conference when everyone found out that all these people were dead, that she said it wasn't terrorism, and then the mayor had just before it said it was terrorism. I was even sitting there watching, thinking, like, did she just make a mistake? Or it was very confusing, especially you just consider something different from the FBI. I mean, were you surprised, Bobby, to see they brought in this assistant director today to sort of run the show?
Not at all. Not at all after that performance yesterday. And, you know, I'm not sure, you know, Aaron used the term DEI hires. I don't know what the situation with this agent was, but that's a glaring mistake. And I can tell you the retired Asian population that I'm in contact with every day cringed as soon as we heard it. And we don't know anything about the case, but we cringed as soon as we heard that announcement that's wrong. We knew it was wrong and we didn't know anything about the case. You can't make that kind of statement at that point in time. And I'm dumbfounded to understand why she made it.
I think it just adds to people being more confused even today with the different narratives changing, and it just sort of started off on a bad foot.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.
All right, so we got something from them, man. You know what I'm saying? From the miscommunicated message gave by the woman. They wanted her up out of there the baddest. You know what I'm saying? Saying, hey, she don't know what she talking about. You need to stop her from talking. You know, so they most definitely got her up out of there the fastest. They said the mayor said that it was an act of terror. Then she come behind them and say it ain't. So they was mad. Yeah, it's that sugar. They ain't like that. They were most definitely upset. Yeah, man, they ain't like that. They got her right up out of there. Yeah, man, I'm glad she's gone. I'm happy, man. They did the best thing they could have did, which was get her up out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, y'all, we most definitely walked it down. We found out that there are connections, but at this time, they are still not able to connect them fully. They got devices, they got cell phones, they got computers from each one of these guys. So therefore, if there's any kind of thing on there that can say that these two were in communication with each other prior or during the situations, that would be great, man. You have so much energy tonight. Yay. Yeah, Penny, we going over there. It's Thursday. Yeah, we know. But anyway, yeah, Yeah, she fired. Philly, they didn't want her to talk at all. But basically what we got today was they were both military veterans. They both served in the Afghanistan war. They both were stationed at Fort Bragg. They both were going through some things in their personal lives, and they both most definitely did something that was unthinkable. On the same day, hours apart, we learned that they both were Army specialists in explosives. They knew how to make them and all of that. You know what I'm saying? We found out that the dudes set out IEDs all around New Orleans, close to the spot to where he ran over those people. He had nails off inside of the IEDs, so when they exploded, nails would have went everywhere, and there could have been way more people hurt than that could have been hurt, you know what I'm saying, than there was, because I guess because his bombs didn't detonate. But we also found out as well the place where he was staying at in New Orleans when it comes to I forgot his name that fast, old dude in New Orleans, that the house caught fire. The Airbnb caught fire right after his demise. So that may have been the only thing that he set up that went like it was supposed to. But when it comes to those it's most definitely a lot of similarities between these two, but we most definitely weren't able to find that connection that says, hey, these two guys knew each other and they worked together, basically simultaneously doing what they did. Right now, it's looking like just they went crazy at the same time. At least that's what the FBI is saying, and that's what most of the people who are investigating these cases are saying. Whatever you think is up to you. I most definitely think the more they search into these two, investigate these two and look into them devices, I'm prone to believe that they're gonna find that connection that connects these two to each other. Because the things I just explained to you are way, how can I put this? It just can't be no coincidence, that they just decided to do this at the same time, hours apart from each other. The thing about seagulls, we ain't talking about no seagulls, bro, they did MK Ultra to those boys. Keisha, allegedly, but I feel you. I've been seeing y'all throw MK Ultra in there all night, and it most definitely could be. My thing is this, though. Yes, I believe that there is a connection between these two. It's too much going on to just be a coincidence in my eyes, but I could be wrong. Hey man, I'm me, you believe what you want. I'm not gonna pressure you to believe what I believe, and you can't pressure me into believing what you believe if you think they not connected. We just agree to disagree. We won't know until some kind of evidence come out. You know what I'm saying? Until they come make an official report that say, hey, we looked in this laptop, we seen that such and such was talking back and forth, or we looked in these laptops and cell phones and found out that they never communicated with each other ever, besides, everything is just a coincidence. Either way, you know what I'm saying? But I won't knock you for feeling how you feel. You can feel like it's MK Ultra. You can feel like they were suffering from PTSD, whatever. You can believe that it was his financial situation. You can believe that his wife leaving him, could have led to all of this. However you want to think, you know what I'm saying? But they most definitely said that in the case of the New Orleans guy, they found ISIS flags in the back of the truck. He most definitely pledged his loyalty to ISIS in the New Orleans case, and in the Las Vegas case. They ain't said too much about nothing about him pledging his to anybody besides that he was a supporter of Trump, and that maybe, just maybe in my eyes, and another thing that I feel is that old dude in Las Vegas was trying to send a message to Trump and Elon Musk. That's why he used the Tesla truck and blew it up in front of the Trump Tower. You got Elon and you got Trump. Trump with the tower, Elon with the Cybertruck. Just my opinion. Best believe them people were plants. Boss lady say they was some plants. Okay, I feel you. Snip, snip. Okay, MK Ultra is old though. We on the 5th generation warfare. Okay. DS Baby says, yep. The laptops and cell phones probably was set up like that. Maybe 17 Hollow Grove. You right. Enjoy the eat in prison, boy. You gonna get plenty. Lord John Brown. He unalived himself. Yeah, they both were unalived. The one in New Orleans was unalived, I guess, by authorities. The one in Las Vegas blew itself up with the truck. Definitely not plants. Just people tired of the BS. Okay. He was living near a mosque in a trailer because his wife took half. The wife took half Eddie. Okay. I agree with sending a message to Trump and Elon. Okay, Miss Jim now. What cowards? Okay, my hair dog's about to bite someone again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go outside and make sure ain't nobody walking around out there at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if they by my house or in front of my house or anywhere close to my house, they deserve to get bit. Ain't nobody called me. I don't know nothing about no visitors. So if they get bit, they just get bit at 4 o'clock in the morning. To be a spiritual warfare, bro. Okay, that's all of it is acceptable. However you feel, that's up to you, man. LOL, I heard them bad boys out there thought it was my dogs. Let's go, man. You gotta keep you a nice pet. You know what I'm saying? A little old guard dog. You know, they better than burglar alarms. You know what I'm saying? Burglars don't stand a chance against my dogs unless they got a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they gonna get tore apart. They better get away from this crib. Ain't gonna be no peeking in the windows over here or creeping around outside. You know what I'm saying? I got dogs for that. They'll most definitely get you up out of here. Can we get 350 on the like, man? I did my part. I brought y'all the news yesterday when it broke, and I most definitely brought y'all the updates, everything they had to say today regarding this situation. I brought it to y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Still don't get Black Trump's oxymoron. Somebody about to get a rocket ship. I thought this was Twister. I thought you was wrong, Joe. I thought your daddy was Twister. We packing down here. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, we packing over here too. As far as in Texas, you know, we legal carry people over here. Can we get 350 on the like? We need 6 more people to hit that like button. Polo, you already know, dog. Gonna get them right up out of here the fastest. Karen, what's wrong with them? You know, as soon as the show comes to a halt, here they come with the nonsense. We ain't got time, not today. All right, y'all. So, you know, I most definitely got to get to my other stomping ground. You know, y'all night may be over. Go get y'all some rest. My night is about 3 hours from being over. But we gonna get to it, man. Got to make it do what it do. So with that being said, y'all, like I said, I covered the New Orleans situation with the attackers and the similarities in the cases. I also covered the situation in Las Vegas, both of them, and we most definitely took a look into the how they could possibly be connected. You know, if there were any connections, I did my part. I fulfilled my obligations. Most definitely not no clickbait over here. We most definitely gave y'all everything we said we was going to give. We delivered. We need 2 more people to double tap that screen. Get the likes up to 350, guys. He was born and raised in Texas, right? Yeah, the one that was that did what he did in New Orleans most definitely was born and raised in Beaumont, in Houston, Texas. Absolutely. One more person, double tap that screen for your boy, if you don't mind. Out of 450 people, I know for a fact, all 450 of y'all ain't been in here the whole time to hit that like button. So hit that like button, man. You know what I'm saying? It will only show that we only have 100 haters in the building, because it should be 550 or 450, because it's 450 people in here. That means 100 of y'all don't support the channel. And you know what? You ain't got to support it because we don't support you. But shout out to everybody that support the channel, man. I'm gonna go ahead and make my grand exit. Man, y'all be safe in the streets, the YouTube streets as well as the real streets, because it's crazy people everywhere. This live stream tonight should have showed you that by the acts of the people that I showed y'all tonight, man, to let y'all know that everybody ain't stable. Mental health and mental illness is real. And with that being said, man, until next time, hey, man, watch your right, your left, your front, and your back, man. Keep your head on the swivel at all times, because it's getting crazy out here in the world, man. And with that being said, y'all already know how this go, man. Sidewalk Gang, checking out. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. We won't be back till Saturday morning, 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you tap in. Shout out to that sea of yellow out there. Y'all already know it's Sidewalk Gang or nothing. And with that being said, thank you, Karen, for that gift. Appreciate it, man. With that being said, man, we out of here, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.